great one.
It's... Envy on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Absolutely, yeah, hello.
That clang you heard there isn't Carl.
No.
Carl's away. It's Sturgis.
Claire Sturgis is here.
Yeah.
You'll know her from the Claire Sturgis show, but we know her from our early days on XFM,
Yeah.
and, you know, we're good friends.
It's sort of like old times, isn't it? And Carl is had a little surprise birthday present.
What's the story with this, Claire? Because I don't know about this.
Do you know, I came in on Monday expecting to see his little smiley face, as usual, and it's always not here.
Yeah.
What do you mean? So, but his girlfriend had surprised him and dragged him off to the Caribbean for a week.
Wow.
No, Canaries, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
He likes the Caribbean. He likes the crabs.
Yes. Yeah. I thought he was bored of the Caribbean. I thought he didn't enjoy it last time.
No, he loved it, didn't he?
No, I don't think he did enjoy
No,
the
it's
crabs.
Tunisia he didn't like.
Right. He's been travelling, hasn't he?
I know, yeah.
He gets a
He
break.
didn't like Tunisia because there's flies the size of matchboxes.
Of course.
And, and midgets in the kitchen. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Midges or midgets?
Midgets, he said.
Right.
In
It
the
was
kitchen.
midgets.
He wasn't saying anything bad, he said that there are lots of midgets in there.
Lots of midgets in the
And
kitchen.
I thought it was he'd gone away to some sort of like theme holiday.
Yeah.
But no, this is I think Gran Canaria or the Canaries or whatever it's
And how
called.
old is Carl?
30.
Is he 30? Is this
30 last
between-
week, I think. Yeah.
Oh, so it was actually a birthday present. Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
see,
a big
right.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
So,
thought,
but that's all right.
So have you got a competition that you can regale us with, Claire? Because obviously Carl provides a lot on this show.
Hold on, we could do White Van Claire.
White Van Claire.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this? We ask
No.
you questions, topical questions, just
Okay.
getting your opinion really on the week's news.
Okay, yeah.
It's on the
if you
spot.
look forward to that.
But you know I'm a little bit, you know.
A little bit simple. That's
well,
fine.
just a little bit, you know.
What?
I always sit on the fence.
Oh, right.
Well, don't sit on the fence.
You see, the worst thing there was she was saying I'm a little bit like, you know, liberal.
I was- I
I
didn't know, I
decided
was
you
got-
went simple.
Yeah.
You
Well,
assumed.
I didn't know. I thought I'm a little bit, coked up? I don't know. Who knows? It's Sturgis. Anything could be possible.
But the other thing is with Carl, we didn't know how good value Carl was until we asked him sort of intelligent
this is true
questions.
enough, yeah.
Because he looks quite intelligent.
Well, this
doesn't
is
he?
it. I mean,
So
the thing with you, Claire, is I don't
discover-
think we've probed you enough. We don't know what, you know,
You
your views are
haven't
on a lot
probed
of
me
things.
enough,
But we
actually,
don't know what
Steve,
your
no.
views are, you know? This is what I'm saying. We don't know where you stand. I mean, don't sit on the fence. This is the new Claire Sturgis.
Yeah.
All right? We're
Yeah,
going to delve deep,
dynamic.
find a personality in there, Claire.
Let's go back
All
to
right.
the old days. How about a bit of the Smiths?
That was beautiful, Rick.
Go on.
Oh, you'll be practicing. Lovely.
Smiths. Cemetery Gates. It's a lovely tune, lovely song. There's one bit that worries me about it. It's sort of like a teacher warning. It goes, you must contrive prose and poems, and the words you use should be your own. Don't plagiarise or take on loan. It's sort of like, what are you telling us now for?
Yeah.
Sort of like a lot of people there going, thanks, Morris. Yeah,
Yes.
that's not mine. That's Wordsworth. Right, I'm going to write my own.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Queen is Dead, though, one of the great album
It's
titles.
not my favourite album. It was voted best album.
But
of
the
all
Smiths,
time.
what I love about the Smiths, they just seem to get, like, the Smiths is
That's-
just a
that's done.
brilliant name.
Yeah.
Don't you think it just captures everything about
Yeah.
them? You know,
We've got a thing about bad.
bad, yeah. Well, I was watching VH1 Classic Smooth last night, and I love it. Absolute joy. Sade always on. You can always get a love a bit of Sade. But Foreigner were on. Yeah. And well, I don't know I can't remember which tune it was, but the album I noticed it came from, classy album title, Agent Provocateur.
Oh.
It makes my skin crawl.
But I also,
From the album Agent Provocateur.
I imagine there's a band called Agent Provocateur, and they're from Wigan. It's a girl singer. She's 35 in a tight dress, and it's four blokes with ponytails.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Doing covers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Here's what you may remember.
They play a wedding. They go, we're not doing a wedding again. There was people. There was cake being trodden in. There was
Exactly.
kids.
Children were just sliding across the parquet floor. They weren't listening to the music.
Well, we've got a gig at the Marquee coming up soon.
Yeah.
It's endless guest list, £5 in.
Agent Provocateur. If your band's Agent Provocateur or Agent Provocateur.
Have you ever been in a band called Agent? Yeah.
But that's got to be one of them, because it's not. I don't know what that title says. I don't imagine Foreigner. I've got that sense of intrigue and.
Right, one of the worst names. Right, okay. To pronounce. Right, it's the worst. Let's start worst album titles. Okay, I'll kick off with Tapao, Bridge of Spies.
Oh, Bridge of Spies. Is that the one that featured China in Your Hand?
I assume so. I don't think I did too many.
Bridge of Spies.
Who did
Bridge
this
of
album?
Spies?
Who did this album? Beggar on a Beach of Gold.
Beggar on a Beach of Gold. It's got the likes of Collins written all over it, but I know it's not
Very
Collins.
close. Mechanics.
Mike and the Mechanics,
Yeah.
of course.
I don't know what that means.
Good old Mike.
He's a beggar on the beach of gold. Just look around, there's some money. He's saying, don't be a tramp, there's some money there,
gold,
mate.
mate.
I don't know what it means.
I think it means that everyone else is rich, but he's still poor.
Yeah. Actually, I like it. Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit deep for me, Steve.
Maybe you just need a little asterisk at the corner and then a little explanation at the bottom of the record card. I'm thinking about this, I'm not quite sure what it means. Oh! He's very
Nice
poor
one.
emotionally.
Chumbawamba.
Well, you know, what can I...
Uneasy listening.
Yes! I bet it was from the Chumbas. Are they still cracking on? Are they?
I
Because they
think
used to
so.
live in a squat.
They've done about 400 albums, them and the Levellers.
Yeah.
Who's the best? Chumbawamba or the Levellers?
So, good question, thanks for asking that.
Yeah. What's the telephone number, Claire?
It's 08700 800 1234.
Or you can email ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Worst album titles ever.
It's like real radio.
It's
isn't
just like Chris Moyles.
it is, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh.
We've got the big fat guys on the telly.
Yeah.
In here. You know. And
I would too,
his
right.
kind of cheeky sidekick.
And my Comedy Dave.
You're almost as funny as Moyles. Fingers crossed one day.
Right, Sturgis, you've brought in a record, haven't you? What are you going to play?
Well,
What's
no,
this
I
all
just
about?
wanna, do you know what like a bootleg is, Ricky?
Oh, what
Yeah.
are you talking about? Oh,
Yeah,
I've stuck
yeah.
a lot of them up on white label.
Yeah,
go on.
okay. Well, no, this is quite a good one that Ian Baker brought in the other day.
Sure.
It's a bit of Dre, a bit of Snoop Dogg,
Oh, yeah.
mixed in with Crowded House. I thought you'd love it.
Hold on.
intrigued.
The juxtaposition there is exciting in itself.
That's true enough. Play it.
Smoke every day.
The weather episode, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Crowd House, I love that.
Enjoyable.
That
Yeah.
works for me, Steve.
Yeah,
What do you
it's good
think?
stuff. No, it was nice. I
Well, she
liked it.
started off all right. Should we give her one more go?
I like a round of applause for Claire.
Yeah, no,
seriously.
that's brilliant. No, that's excellent, that. I love that.
Rick, the phone... Oh, it's just gone. The phone, no, I tell you, the phone board had lit up there, Gervais.
Really?
There was a call buzzing through on
A
call
call
one.
came through?
A call came through on line one,
Yeah.
and Sturgis missed it. Carl would never have missed that. He
Oh.
knows how valuable they are.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was probably someone with an amusing album title.
No, I did get one, Steve. I did
What was
get
it?
one. Do you
Someone
want to
came
hear
through?
it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, this is from Al, who says, what about this? H to H-E, who am the only one.
Sorry, H
To H-E,
H-E.
who am the only one.
I don't know what it means.
No. Van de Graaff generator.
Oh, well, no wonder. That's the thing that one of those things at the museum that you wind up and you touch and it makes your hair stand on end.
Yeah.
That's the scientific thing, isn't it?
Sure.
I've given up, Steve.
Yeah, no,
Do you know,
I
that didn't
noticed,
really
I
make me
noticed.
laugh either,
I'll be
so-
honest, I'm thinking that the whole kind of amusing album titles thing we should abandon.
I thought that as I
thought
said it.
To be honest with you, I thought it was easier than this. I mean, Chris Moyles makes it work, that kind of crazy comedy
Okay, let's try
radio
another.
magic, but obviously and I don't think our listeners are into that stuff. I just don't think they can be bothered to get to the phone. I don't think a lot of them are able. I think a lot of them are, you know,
Do you
still
remember
kind of smacked up.
Do you remember when we spent about 3 hours trying to get to through to the Chris Moyle show?
I vaguely, yeah. What was the
He was
reason?
doing this competition, and it was song titles with golf, about golf. Like, so we go like Drive, the Cars, and that. And I was getting so excited. I wanted to phone up and go, Duran, golfy, golf. And I just thought, it might have, oh God,
Yeah,
it
we
probably cost me
spent
about
ages.
30 quid just to ruin Chris Moyles' competition.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, those were the
Before I
days
realised-
when we realised, you know, he was a great talent and one to watch.
Yeah.
Before we'd enjoyed his new TV show.
But anyway,
Yeah.
let's not.
No, that's
Slag
cheap.
it for
It's
long.
cheap. It's cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway, what should we talk about now then? Because that all went well. No, I mean that's 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes done, and we've nailed amusing album titles. We've done that. That's fine. So we need a new gimmick now.
I'll tell you what. In it, you know,
You got something, you got something, you got something. Oh, Ricky's
You
got
know,
something.
you know when you
Here he
go
comes.
out, you take an umbrella out.
leave the
right?
house, you've got an
Right, you go
umbrella.
umbrella, right?
Yeah.
And it's a really sunny day.
Yeah.
And then you come out and you go. Oh,
Oh, we
God.
shan't bother with that because it's
Yeah.
in the way.
But then, right? Imagine when you go out, right?
It's raining. It's raining.
No.
No.
You go out without an umbrella.
Okay.
And then it rains.
Oh,
What's going on there?
Oh,
Isn't that
no.
weird, isn't it?
We've
when
all
you-
been there,
So
we've all
imagine
been
if
there.
you got like funny, weird observations of things that happen, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, stuff like that about umbrellas or any kind of sort of accessory or hat.
What's give the number out again, Claire? This is going to be brilliant.
This is going to be great.
Take this one. Take this one.
08700 800 1234.
Just comedy observations.
Yeah,
and
stuff
things
you
that we-
thought of. Wacky stuff you thought of. Just tell us what stuff you come up with. Get the Sony people on the phone. This is dynamite.
Suede. Positivity.
Absolutely.
They could always do a good chorus, couldn't they?
They could indeed.
I think we could play Pink. Is that really way out? You're saying that it'd be
Pink,
wrong?
you can't play Pink.
I like that new one.
Yeah, but whether or not it's in the
coming
building.
up, so
No,
you
not that
better
one.
get the
That
party
one,
started. Do you know who that's written by? Do you know who that's
I'm
written
trying
by?
to call the nurse, but she's being a little bitch.
This will be interesting. You know, let's get the party started. I'm coming up.
Yeah.
You know who that's written by?
Well, the way you say it sounds a bit like, is it... is it Radiohead?
Tom York, you're thinking? No. Let's get the party started. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. Careful, I'm coming up. Let's get the party started.
I'm having one more
please.
guess. Is it Johnny Rotten? Is it
It's
Johnny
not
Rotten?
but
Go on.
this is the truth. It's written by that woman with the goggles and the big hat that used to be in Four Non-Blondes.
Is it?
It's written by her.
You're not thinking of Snork, are you?
No.
Banana
no.
Splits.
No, I oft got the two confused.
Yeah.
But, no.
Sorry, goggle and a big hat.
She had a big hat, didn't
I
she?
know-
And a
I
pair
know
of goggles
exactly
and
the one
kind
you
of
mean.
sort of
What
a
do you
sort of
mean
jippo look about her.
What do you mean goggles? You can't say jippo. What do you mean goggles?
What's the
Those
correct word to
flying
say?
goggles.
Gypsy. Jippo is, yeah, it's a terrible derogatory term. It's like...
Well, she looked like some kind of scrounger, and she sort of had like matted dreadlocks, and
selling clothes pegs?
yeah.
Right, now listen.
Lucky Heather.
Yeah.
She had a big leather.
Do you remember when you got stopped with Lucky Heather and you
I
didn't
don't
buy
wanna
it?
talk about
Then you
I
had some
don't-
bad
I
luck.
had some bad luck about 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
So I always stop and buy something.
So hold
I
on,
got
so...
shed loads of it at home. 'Cause I don't know when you got to throw it away. They don't tell you how long you've got to keep it for the good luck.
6th of January.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, keeping it after that's bad luck. I'm getting confused again, aren't I?
No, what it was.
I don't know which myth to believe in.
Right, stop it. Let's go
Go
back
on.
to. I've got a party started.
So
going on
when are you
upstairs.
coming up? Yeah.
That is. As
So
I say,
Fleagle, she's
is
the...
that her name?
No, that's one of the banana splits.
Now you confuse me.
Fleagle's the one with the big teeth and
Right.
the goggles.
Right.
Snork is the one with basically. To be honest, I think it's an elephant.
Okay.
I think they've pretended they've made up an animal.
There's so many people listening who don't know who the banana splits are.
The banana splits.
Banana splits.
Right. Listen, yes, they know the banana splits are, and even people under 20 and over. Snork, Fleagle, Drooper. Who was the other one?
If you can remember the name of that.
What's the number? Because I actually want to know this. This is what radio's for. When I can't think of something, they tell me.
Yeah. So
It's
which one have you got?
08700
I've got
800 1234.
Drooper and Snork.
I've no idea.
God. Fleagle, Drooper and Snork. Da-da, da-da, Drooper and Snork. Fleagle. Bingo!
Nice. Well done. Don't bother calling.
Sorry.
That particular tragedy, or that has been avoided.
Bingo. I
Yeah,
don't know what
the
bingo
moment's
looks
passed.
like. Yeah. There was one.
Anyway.
There was one that had sewn up eyes. Drooper, I think. Sorry, go on.
No. Anyway, my point was this.
Go on.
that,
Pink.
Oh, I can't be bothered.
No, really?
can't be bothered.
I think we can play that new one by Pink.
You
'cause it's
cannot
sort of like
play Pink.
Why? Because it's too poppy.
They just won't allow Pink on XFM.
They what?
They will not allow Pink on XFM.
They what? They.
Wait a minute, that's red rag to a bull. Someone's telling you that you can't do something. That's crazy. Right, let's also get the new Justin Timberlake single.
And I
The
tell you
thing
what.
is, Ricky, you're going to have to nip down and have a word with Foxy, because we haven't got it up here.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I'd
he'll
love
have
to.
it.
Can't
but-
you call someone at Capital Radio?
Well, yeah.
What's that one by Busted? That's what I go to school for.
What about Abs?
Dynamite. Abs, the new one from Abs. Dynamite.
Yeah. Well, play a record and we'll discuss this Pink thing.
Would you want a bit of cat?
Oh, Cat Stevens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
Cat's
that.
Full of Four. This is Sittings. Lovely. Piano and everything, isn't it?
Oh, this was the tune we were originally going to use as the theme music for TV's The Office. That starts
Yeah.
again on Monday, I think. It's like,
Just play it. Cat Stevens and Sitting.
I couldn't find Pink, Rick, but I've got the S Club Juniors. What do you think?
Pink is all right.
Magic
Just
carpet
because it hasn't got the credibility of like new punk and new metal, it's a good tune. It's all right. Don't, we've never been snobby. We've never worried about credibility, have we?
Hearsay? They're all down there, I can go and get them.
I tell you what, if you're going to do that, I'm just going to play adverts from now on. Can we play some adverts? Supergrass. Grace on XFM 104.9. I've been forgetting to say that.
Yes.
It's all gone to pot, isn't it? I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
Little Carl's not here. Claire Sturgis is here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Cracking? Yeah.
Now, I think we can play Pink, you know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be responsible for it.
No?
I mean, I don't have a problem particularly with the lady. You know, she's made a good effort with it, and I think, but apparently it's either number one or it's likely to be number one this week. So
It's not that rebellious, me
it's not
playing this.
particularly rebellious.
No.
But I don't know. I mean, what worries me is that whether the audience will turn against you and that you'll lose all musical credibility.
Have I got
That's
any?
no,
did I have any?
very little.
Really?
I had an email just now, and I think maybe this answers why we didn't get very many calls about the give us a crazy band name or an album title.
Think about the number?
No. They think maybe they're all at the march, the big march, which makes a lot of sense because I would imagine a lot of the sort of losers that listen to our show
What's the march
probably
about?
also agree that they should go and protest about a war.
Oh, it's the
is that
anti-war
the
march,
anti-war
yeah.
march?
It's the gates to war.
So, well, I don't really know the ins and outs of this whole thing. Really, I mean, it sounds like
Yeah.
it's a long way away.
I
don't know if
suppose
they
it's
wanna
a way
bomb
to,
it.
yeah. They were asked if they wanted a war, and they said no. Is
Yeah.
that so bad, Steve?
Yeah.
Do that
No, I mean, good luck to him. I don't think he's going to have much effect, to be honest.
You don't think?
No, I don't really believe
But
in all
she's
that.
listening.
I don't think he's worried in the slightest. A couple of
No.
sort of dropouts and some sort of junkies are in the streets, you know.
Well, you
And a
say
couple of
that,
old
you say
ladies.
that, but what's their names? Specials, Free Nelson Mandela. 8 years later, he was out.
That's true enough.
So
That's absolute. I've forgotten about that.
I think they were. Yeah,
And Live Aid sorted out world hunger.
yeah.
That put an
That
end
was
to that.
done.
So that was. But I
um,
see the difference there. Is
Ebony and Ivory, no more racism now.
but musicians.
That was done.
Rick, you see, musicians were involved there.
Yeah.
I don't think any musicians are involved this time. I think David Albarn's there. but-
They've probably taken their bongos and their didgeridoos.
tablas.
You
Is that
can
what
see
they-
they're walking down now, loads of ponchos.
Yeah.
You were going to wear a poncho once, 'cause you thought it'd make you more of a hit with the ladies, weren't
Oh,
you?
but they're so now, ponchos.
They are,
In
aren't
they
Topshop,
really?
they are so now.
So you'd have been ahead of your time.
As
again.
ever, as ever.
You see, I think if you wait a couple of years, those clogs will be in.
Exactly. This is what I'm hoping.
You
What
just
about this pipe? I like to think that the pipe. The pipe is definitely on the way back at some point. The pipe's
Yeah,
got to
the
come
pipe-
back. A lady, sorry, as a lady, what do you think of a man who smokes a pipe?
I think it's lovely.
Do you think it's quite
very
sexy?
sexy,
'Cause
yeah.
I think it's quite
I wouldn't want to
distinguished.
snog
it takes your breath away. What?
because I've given up smoking, Steve.
Yeah, it takes.
Well, I won't be giving you a blowback. I don't know what that phrase is, Rick. I gambled with that phrase. I don't know if a blowback. I think that could be obscene. I've got no idea what a
No,
blowback
I think it is very, very sexy in a sort of a Val Dunican kind of way.
He never smoked a pipe.
Not
Did he
round.
not?
No, he smoked a goat.
Oh,
Well,
right.
there's something about smoking a goat.
What
About
worries
Paddy
me,
McGuinness
Claire,
goat. It
you
blew
know,
up.
if you look at pictures of the great sort of thinkers of our time, you know, maybe at college or university in the sort of 1930s, you got those great, you know, the great thing of people who became the great artists of our century, and you see pictures of them in Oxbridge when they're 19, they're all smoking pipes in tweed suits.
Yeah.
No young people now are smoking pipes. I fear that it's going to be dead in like 15 years. I don't think anyone's going to be smoking pipes.
But I think, again, you
I feel
are
like
way
maybe it's me
ahead
with a
of your
certain
time.
profile.
Yeah.
Maybe I've got to try
Yeah.
and bring it back.
Bring it back. I
You
think
know,
so.
then we could be seeing kids in Top Shop on a Saturday.
And let's not forget sniffing snuff.
Some stuff.
My nan used to sit there with 2 brown stains just dribbling through her nose.
Lovely.
Yeah, and that bit of snuff and some gin.
Well, this is because my friend always said if he won millions of pounds, he'd spend it all trying to bring back as a fashion accessory the cape. Because I think
See,
the
I
cape,
quite like the
because you can
cape
make
and
such an entrance with the cape
And a
can't you?
cane.
A cape and a cane, yeah, and a top hat. I wish people had to wear hats now.
See, I couldn't
I
go
love
it off because of my shape and size. I look like Bertie Bassett. Whereas you look Basil Rathbone.
I'd look pretty good at all sort of
you'd cut a
Christopher
good-
Lee.
yeah.
in a cape.
Wow, you
But
would.
I'd sweep into a room. You
I know.
bellow
Yeah, see,
behind me.
I think you look like. And don't get this wrong. Don't take this wrong. Like we're mates. I think you look like a freak with a cape on.
Okay.
So-
all right. Well.
And at which point would you take it one step further and add the deer stalker, you know, and go the whole Sherlock Holmes
So
route?
I'd have the cape, the pipe, the deerstalker, and
Yeah.
I'd solve crimes.
It looked great. It looked like some sort
You
of.
could be my fat companion.
I could be. What sort of like get padding and stuff. Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah.
I'd like to solve more crimes. If I'm being truthful, I'd like to.
I would love to solve crimes.
Just to solve one crime would be great.
I wouldn't matter if I solved it. If the police came to me and said you did it, I'd just look at the first one, go in,
Yeah.
just get it off the streets. You know what I mean? Just like tick, done that.
Sure, yeah, but I
You
just
know.
feel there'd be something. I feel like maybe because you know, like in TV shows, it always used to be, you know, they were a doctor who also solved crimes. They were a plumber, they solved crimes.
Quincy.
You know,
Quincy,
things
oh,
like that.
yeah.
But you know, a couple of sort of BAFTA-winning writers.
What did Heart
comedians
to
who
Heart
also
do?
solve crimes. That's
That'd be good.
That'd be great.
What did Heart to Heart do? They were just
They
millionaires.
were just a couple, a millionaire couple who would invariably what was
But
the
they
Murder, She
did
Wrote?
that
She was just a
every
novelist.
week, though. Every week, heart to heart.
Murder She Wrote.
Murder,
She
She
wrote
Wrote.
it and she solved
She
it.
always solved it.
It's
Yeah.
brilliant. Murder She Did wouldn't have been such a good sort of
No,
thing.
no. But this is what you don't seem to get that anymore. You know, people who do one job for a living. You know, DJ who also solves crimes. The DJ who solved crime, that was Shoestring.
Was he a DJ?
Yeah.
He was a
Eddie
private
Shoestring
ear, wasn't he? He was a private
DJ who's
ear
also a
on the
private eye.
radio.
Is that what that was? That the thing they did?
Not private eye, private ear.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
And how did he solve it? He worked out clues
Yeah.
for call-ins and stuff.
Yeah.
No, he used to leave the building. He didn't just sit there and play records and then try and guess.
That's great.
Give us a call on the usual number if you've got any idea who murdered.
No, it's snitch hour. Got a letter here. Who reckons
Because
she knows?
I know a lot of my friends are big fans of Midnight Caller. Well, do you remember Midnight Caller? Was he a DJ who solved crimes?
Yeah, it was one of those late night things in America, wasn't it?
But was he a DJ? He solved crimes, didn't he?
I don't know if he'd solve crimes or just solve...
If you've ever solved a crime, email
solve
us.
puzzles. He had one of those puzzler books. Weren't you on the front cover of Puzzler once? One of those things you get. Weren't you?
Puzzler.
Were you?
Was I?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it was your other friend who was a
friend of mine,
DJ.
yeah, it was a cover of Puzzler magazine.
That's it, yeah.
So was Puzzler a rude thing?
No, it was one of those things that you
Those puzzle books you can buy in
You,
the
Oh,
music.
actually, it's a puzzler.
you do
Oh,
for
so-
coach journeys, and they just put people's pictures on without permission.
Yeah.
I know people are just like, well, I don't give permission. They just find like celebrities, and they just get their picture and they stick them on the
Well, they
front.
could have used me then, would they?
Well, I
Celebrities.
forgot. I didn't. Hey, Pink.
Should we play Pink?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I don't live by the rules.
be on your head. Here we go.
That was the Strokes, and kids are mental.
Yeah.
That was
No,
just-
you're all right.
No, shut up.
No, the thing is, I think if we'd introduced that as just, and we didn't mention who it was, and we just said this is the new one from one of those trendy new bands, you know, the Boomtown Rats. then I'm sure these listeners would have happily accepted it. But as it was, they knew it was Pink, and the phone lines have gone crazy. We had upwards of 2 calls. So I'll tell you this, we had between 2 and 4 calls. And they've not enjoyed it.
Why
They've
do
not
we
enjoyed
do
it.
this show?
They've
We
not
don't
enjoyed it.
need to do this show.
Because you love us.
We could be on Radio 1.
Oh man, I love
We
it.
could be on Radio 2, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Virgin, I think, called once. Ages
Someone
ago.
just emailed, they just said, Pink sounds like Run for the Sun by Bucks Fizz. I can see what they're thinking. I can see what they're thinking.
What do they want then?
Well, yes.
Okay, what's the phone number
don't
again?
be- you know what people like? I never understand who phones already. Who tries? It took us like 2 hours to fail to get through to Chris Moyles. People will phone radio stations. Can you please play the new one by The Strokes? You just buy it, or you have the album. Why have you got to hear it on the radio? What difference does that make? Some guy talks at the end and the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Partially ruins the song. I can't understand who phones up for a request.
We're really alienating our listeners
Yeah.
now, aren't we?
Nice
We're going, we don't care what you think, go and buy it. We're going to play what we want and we don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not being particularly funny or interesting. We haven't even got that to fall back on.
I'll tell you what it is, Rick. Arrogance.
Laziness.
When you've got a hit TV show in your hand and you've won the awards and you're making the kind of money that you are at those massive corporate gigs.
Yeah.
Where they're paying you thousands of pounds to turn up for 10 minutes. You don't need this. Rick.
I mean,
Steve, don't you get that then?
I'm afraid I don't, Claire. I'm afraid I don't.
we
there we are.
carved it up early on that Steve would not be making the sort of money that I would.
Yes.
And he shook on that.
That was written contractually.
Yeah. So I think.
Oh, so you did shake on that?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it would
no,
be,
it's-
and it would be horrible to go back. I don't think he realised quite the difference.
Yeah.
But
the
you know,
huge success.
I don't think
Yeah.
he'd want me to Welsh on it.
Right.
I don't think he'd be happy with himself if I
Yeah.
gave him any.
I
would you?
couldn't live with myself if you gave me some of that cash.
Well, what should we play then? What should we play? Should
Can
we
we
play
just
the
save
Strokes
it
or
by
something?
playing the Strokes?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
go on then. That's
It's all stuff.
Oh, thank God for that.
Electric Soft Parade. Same way every day. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Do you mean me or the listener?
The listener.
Sure.
Is it what? So they didn't like. So they want good music, they see.
Apparently, Rick,
So
they would prefer good music to
They
Pink.
want good music, do they? Are you sure they want good music?
They appear to want good music, Rick. Why?
Right.
Wait a minute, what are you thinking?
I'm going to think of playing a really good record next.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
They've wound me up now. They want good music. They don't want, right, so I will do a little deal with them.
Okay.
I will play them a fantastic piece of music, as long as they promise to turn the stereo up to number 10.
Wee. What about
yeah.
the neighbours, Rick? Think about the neighbours.
What, you think they'll annoy the neighbours?
They may annoy
Steve,
the
maybe
neighbours.
I want them to annoy the neighbours.
Wait a minute. Rick, you know what that was?
What?
It's the sound of the rule book being torn up.
Yes! Yeah.
Rick.
Yeah. You think I'm playing with fire?
It sounds like it.
Maybe I like getting burned.
Oh, careful, Rick, careful. Because you could scold your hands, but what about your elbows? I wish I knew what that meant. I wish I knew what that meant. I didn't really
Right,
think that through.
this is a great piece of music by one of the greatest bands ever. Okay, it's one of their best songs.
Yeah, that's true
okay,
enough.
it is long.
It's a long
but-
tune.
Well, you know what?
What, you can't handle
What?
it?
You can't. You don't want 8 minutes
Ooh,
of
you
the
don't want
Who.
8 minutes of cracking music?
Yeah,
Then
listen to this.
please switch off your radio.
No, seriously, turn the radio up.
Turn it, crank it up.
Crank it up. Go.
Rock it up.
That makes up for Pink, doesn't it?
Oh, man alive. Oh,
It's an amazing track.
It's incredible.
It is. I mean, incredible.
It's textbook rock and roll.
But when I was growing up, I had two favourite lyrics of all time, and one of them's in there. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Yeah, it sends a shiver down your
It's,
spine.
it's fantastic. And the other one was it's on America's tortured brow that Mickey Mouse has grown up a cow.
Nice.
You know what that is?
Nice. Yeah.
Got a phone in. This would be a competition. What should we give away?
Office.
We haven't got any, have we?
Just why don't you just sign
That's
your
like-
signature on a piece of paper or something? That's got to be worth something in a couple of years.
£4.
Yeah.
£4 you get on
It would
eBay.
cheapen the piece of paper.
Yeah, not if it's a rubbish bit of paper.
I've had an
which
email here-
I probably would sign.
There's an email here from Davey.
Look, it's lit up. No, wait a minute. Look at that.
Oh my
They've gone mad. They answer it. Put them live.
Oh.
They might know the answer.
Hang on.
We'll give them some. We'll give them some CDs.
How do you
Oh,
do
While you figure that out, let me just read this email. Go on. If you're having to play, it says here, if you're having to play extra ad breaks and 8-minute-long songs, it just goes to show who provides all the material for that radio show of yours. Did Carl secretly write The Office as well? And I think to myself, it's like, what do you want from us?
Just see if someone's on the
One of the
phone.
most incredible rock and roll tunes ever laid down on vinyl, and you're whinging?
I know.
Because you'd rather have our inane banter. What kind of a person are
No,
you?
they'd rather have Carl's in a banter.
clearly.
Don't big your
I
roll
just-
up. They
no,
don't
no.
want us at all, Steve.
I've just had a phone call from a very nice girl saying, "Where's Carl?" I said, "Well, you know, he's back next week. What's wrong with me?" She went, "No, you're lovely, Claire." She went, "But Carl calms the other two down."
Sure.
Really?
Can we just see if someone's on the phone? Is
Yeah, go on
anyone
then.
there?
go.
Right, what are we going to give them? We're going to give them
got
some
nothing.
CDs or
We're
something.
running on
Well,
it.
take the name. Right.
Anyone there? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, God, there's someone there.
Oh, I've got to put my headphones on.
Oh, hang on. Oh,
What was the lyric again?
Stay there, please.
It's on America's tortured brow that Mickey Mouse has grown up a cow.
Life on Mars. David.
Life on Mars, David Bowie. It's easy as that.
He.
What's your name?
It's John Ball.
John Ball.
John, I'll be honest with you, we got nothing. We got nothing to give you.
It's not good enough.
No, we'll get him some. We'll give him. Yeah, we'll give him an office CD.
Doesn't
and
work.
some.
We can't keep doing that, Rick. It's
We've got nothing
Yes,
else. They
you
don't
can.
give. They don't give us anything, do they? They don't. They are. Oh, it's a wonder we get into the building. No one's
know,
around
I know.
on Saturdays. No one cares.
Office DVD.
Yeah,
What would
okay.
you really like, though, if you could have anything?
Yeah, Office DVD.
See?
There you
Fair
go.
enough, fair
Brilliant.
Stay
Okay.
on the line, mate, and I'll get you details. Okay.
Excellent. That was a competition we did. That was like real radio.
Well done.
It was like real radio. Now we've got to play David Bowie, haven't we? That's what they
Calm
do.
down, Rick, you are- I can see what you
no,
mean.
but Foxy would have it
Well, you're
lined up.
Rick, you're going to have a heart attack.
Am I?
Live on air. I mean,
Yeah.
it's dramatic radio, and that's Sony Award winning. I know that. Any kind of, I seem to remember when Tony Blackburn had his breakdown on there. I think, did he win awards for that? I mean, it was pretty impressive
Probably.
stuff. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, what breakdown award?
Have a breakdown, yeah.
Excellent.
This year's best breakdown, maybe?
Tony Blackburn.
Yeah, but
Or Tessa, marry me.
yeah, it was something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He played the same song again and again and again. Must
Did
be
he?
fascinating radio. That sounds like Capital Now.
Oh, it's that satire.
High five.
Yeah, nice
We've
one.
done there.
Oh, well done. Well
Are
done.
we owned by Capital?
You've
We are,
got,
aren't we?
yeah. Remember what happened last time?
Sure.
And now Richard Park, who owned Capital, is the Grandmaster. What?
The Grandmaster?
He's grandfather. No, he's a
Headmaster.
headmaster of Fame Academy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, let's play a record now, because you have to lie down, because you're just getting so worked up and now. I can tell when there's an excitement and enthusiasm, and sweat, beads of sweat run down
Well,
your
it
brow.
started off so badly, we had nothing, but then I did a competition, gave away some things. You've got an email that really annoyed you, haven't you?
Well, we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever I see beads of sweat, I know, because that's not the
Jeez.
Ricky Gervais I know.
Okay.
It worries me. You never work yourself up into any kind of sweat. so
Okay,
you
let's
need to just
play
chill
it.
out,
Let's,
calm down.
we're going so well now, aren't we? What about a bit of Beck? Would
Let's
that-
have a lovely bit of Beck, just to chill everything out, just
yeah,
calm everything
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah,
all right, relax.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
there you are,
yeah.
Steve, he's gone.
yeah, yeah. Beck, beautiful that.
Good tune.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Lost Cause, XFM 104.9. It's going well, isn't it?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Right, let's do something else then. Adverts. or
Adverts, I'd
something.
love to hear some adverts.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
There it is. Life on Mars, with that great lyric by David Bowie.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Although, it's not quite as good as, what was the one, was it Jeff Lynne? The chances of anything coming from Mars are a million to one, and yet they come.
Yeah, and still they come.
And still they come, and
I wonder
still
what
they
you get.
come.
Would you get that on Ladbrokes?
I'd like to
A
see,
million
yeah.
to one.
But it's
Yeah.
a million to one and still they come.
Yeah,
And still
yeah.
they come.
the odds. I go, what are you doing? It's 1 million to 1. It's what?
Some guy.
There's 1 million to 1 on you. We should have put a bet on. You didn't tell me you were coming.
notified us. We could have split it 50-50. I could have made it
Fiddled it a little bit. I could have gone, wow. I could have probably got them up to 1.5 million.
Gorg,
Now you're here. We're never going to get good odds.
Gorg, the chances of that.
Gorgie.
The chances of that happening were million.
What have you come for? They've probably come for that.
Well, why didn't you sneak in?
They've come for that quash drink, haven't they, again?
You could have snuck
Oh,
down.
what are
you
you
could have let
doing?
us know and flown back and then made another.
You know that fella? We come for that drink you call quash. I bet he'd get off with snork. Wouldn't he?
Possibly.
He'd meet
Are you thinking of weird stuff again? You're thinking of crazy ideas again. What about those smash aliens? All right, you got something on them, have you?
Yeah, you know, they went out, right, without an umbrella.
Oh,
Poured down.
it
They got...
rained. I knew it would. I knew it would.
Anyway.
Oh, anyway, David Bowie.
No, look,
beautiful.
this is spiralling. Can I just mention Lynn, who's just phoned because she was queuing up all night outside the Apollo for Bowie tickets, and she got a pair, so she's dead
well
happy.
done.
Can you
Excellent.
dedicate that to everyone who's queuing up? So
Yeah,
So
best
do
of luck
that.
to them.
And I wanted to tell you about the time Bowie came into XFM to talk to Zoe Ball.
David
And,
came in, did he? Was this recently?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I'm not going to mention her name. She works in the office, Charlotte. When he walked by her desk, which you have to do when you come to the studio, she didn't actually meet him, shake his hands, or make eye contact, but she actually cried because he was in her vicinity.
Really?
And she actually burst into tears when he walked by. Isn't
Rick,
that? I
I've
love
made
that.
women do that. So, you know.
You've got something in common.
Well, a little something in common with David Bowie.
They whimper and weep when you're in. You know what I mean? It's sort of like...
There's a lot more screeching as well.
Yeah.
A lot of screaming.
Tell them about that email you just got.
this guy-
Right, I got to tell I nearly said the fans! People who happen to be listening to XFM waiting for the person after us. Who's on next?
Natasha's
Natasha.
night with the football show.
Right. Steve was genuinely annoyed. I laughed. Right, Steve is genuinely annoyed. He doesn't like rudeness or people insulting him from a distance.
I'm not sure I can find it.
Oh, what was it? Oh, you got to find it.
Well, hang on, let me,
Oh, hang on.
This is good radio as well. The sound of a mouse clicking in the distance.
Well,
I'll just
you
keep
sprung
talking.
it on me.
I'll just keep talking.
Can't you can come up with some
was-
magic?
What was Scooby-Doo on about? A talking dog? That's a bit weird, isn't it? And then, right, what was that? Wacky Races. I don't know if... Oh, no, wait a minute. So why did they run, the cavemen, if they... the car?
I've got it. I've got it.
Right.
Okay, this is an email. This is an email that was sent through.
Right.
And this is my feeling. I think if you're going to email an insult, you've got to at least be clear what the insult is. You can't make me do the work. You can't make me try and guess or figure out.
No, it's like sending someone hate mail and they have to pay postage.
Yeah, exactly.
You
exactly.
go, well, if you're going to...
Yeah, exactly. Or making an obscene phone call, but
Yeah, the postman asks you 25p before he hands you a letter bomb.
Yeah.
Go on.
It says, merchant. It opens with merchant. Who are you, call sad, exclamation mark. At least my mother still don't cut my hair. Merchant. Who are you, call sad? At least my mother still don't cut my hair.
Is it an anagram?
I don't know. I feel like it's been translated from the French.
Yeah. It's a Japanese fella who hates
exactly,
you.
exactly.
And
There's
he's got a Japanese English dictionary. It's just literal. So, how does he know your mum cut your hair then? You've never said that on there, have you?
It's not true, Gervais.
Can I just say, I think your hair looks really nice,
very
Lynn.
much,
I've known you for about 5 years now.
Oh, no,
It's lovely.
I laughed at you needing someone to say it. It looks fine. Yeah, it looks good.
What do you mean it looks fine?
It does look good. It looks good. He's got a little bit of product on it, hasn't he?
Yes.
Maybe I have.
A little bit of hair gel. What do you use?
Maybe Gavin had his fingers all over it yesterday. Yeah, I have my hair cut by Gavin of West Hampstead.
Is
He
it
does a
called?
good
Is
job.
that is what it's called, Gavin, or is it a bloke who works in?
It is a Gavin who works in
Do
the
you use that fudge stuff? on
Sorry,
your
is
hair?
that no? But
I
seriously,
use a form of clay, a moulding clay.
Yeah, that's
Gavin recommended it.
Yeah.
Gavin recommended it, and I've been very happy so far.
Hold on though.
Rick, what do you use?
I don't.
Yeah.
Don't. I just sort of.
Well, that's obvious.
No, I just sort of like comb it back and whatever way it falls, really.
Yeah.
But
You had more questions about Gavin?
yeah, no.
I was up seeing Gavin yesterday, just having a haircut. There's nothing untoward, and I thought I popped past Habitat. There's a Habitat, and it's quite a trendy kind of designer furniture shop or whatever.
Sure.
And I popped in there. I thought I'll pick up the sort of brochure, the catalogue. There was a big stack of the new
You were
catalogue.
stunned by the prices you're going to tell me, aren't you?
No, I'll tell you what. I was about walking out with the guy. Went, hey, where are you going with the hair? It's a great looking haircut, but where are you going with that catalogue? I went, what do you mean? He went, it's £2. You've got to pay £2 for a catalogue from Habitat. And I said, well, I could go down to Argos. I can get as many as I want for free. I can go crazy in Argos. I can get them Littlewoods, the mail order people. They'll send it to my home.
Yeah.
I got to pay There's lingerie in that one. You know, you've just got like some furniture and stuff. And I'm paying £2 for it. If there were some ladies draped over the kind of filing cabinets, I'd be interested. I'd pay
love the fact
£2.
that you... Now, what did you say, though? You didn't say I can go down to Argos and get as many as I like. What did you say?
Yeah, I did. I said, well, what are you talking about? This is, why am I paying
Isn't it weird charging for a catalogue?
But this is a catalogue just to tell me what I might want to buy.
It's sort of their calling card. It's like paying for a poster or a sticker.
Exactly. This is what it's almost like paying an entrance fee to go into the shop.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
It's a good. I mean, because it's good to just walk around and browse. So, I mean, I'd pay £1 to walk around a really good shop.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this, if Habitat maybe had some kind of, like, sort of centrefold...
Why don't you do this?
I'd be interested.
I'll tell you what, in a great shop like Habitat, you pay £1, right? If you buy anything, that comes off the thing. If you don't buy anything, you've paid £1 to stop wasting their time.
It's an incentive to buy.
I wouldn't like it.
Sure.
I wouldn't go in there. I think it's a terrible idea.
Well, anyway, that's
what should we play?
That was a sideways look at the world of high street shops.
I think you should play the award-winning Ms. Dynamite.
Yeah,
Oh,
go on.
she's cracking.
Ms. Dynamite. Good, that, isn't it?
It's cracking. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Mercury Award winning.
Absolutely.
Well done.
Yeah, good luck to her. Good luck to her.
I must admit, I wanted the Streets, but I know
Yeah.
she's a very good second choice, and you know, wish you all the luck in the
All
world.
the luck in the world.
I'm looking at your hair.
It's not bad, is it?
And you have bigged it up, so you're quite. So I assume you didn't go to a barber. You've gone this.
This is a hairdresser's. This is
Right.
Gavin of West.
Okay, I'm going to ask you now, right? And I'm not going to take the mickey, even if it's £100. I'd think you're a fool, and I know you wouldn't pay that much. But it's obviously more than £5 then, isn't
Yes.
it? How much do you pay?
Ricky Gervais, for this haircut, I paid the princely sum, and I was proud of it, 22 notes. But
That's all right.
But I went up to 24 because I was pleased with what I had. Little tip for him.
£2 tip.
£2 tip. I could have just given him one of those Habitat catalogues. He'd have been pleased with that.
I love
Just
it.
slap that on the desk.
Yeah, and he'd have gone, thanks very much. And you'd like to go, I'm going to be honest, Gavin, that is not free.
Exactly.
If that had been an Argos catalogue, then throw me out of it with an insult.
exactly.
Look at the price. Get £2, yeah. That £2 is yours.
That's yours. You're taking that home.
Would you prefer the money? What should we do?
Yeah.
We're going to usually play a new one around this time. What new adverts have we got?
We've got plenty here.
Oh, come on, let's
Come
go.
on. Are you in it?
No.
XFM.
Badly drawn boy. I imagine that's starting a British film. Do you know what I mean? They're jumping on a London bus and they're going around London.
Well, of course, the film about a boy, he did the soundtrack for. So if you were a little bit more up on films and stuff, you'd have already known that idea's been done, and you wouldn't have embarrassed yourself, and there wouldn't be egg on all our faces.
Oh,
But
no.
thanks very much.
Sorry about that, I'm eating. I'm very messy, aren't I?
yeah.
What have you got, Steve? What have you got for
Rick,
me?
I'm glad you've asked. Thanks for asking. This is a Stevie Wonder track. Now, I hope people aren't as offended by Stevie as they were by Pink.
I'm sure they won't be.
I mean, for goodness sake, he's one of 20th century's greatest artists.
Yeah.
This is from an album, not one of his more famous, Fulfillingness's first finale.
Yeah.
And this is a track called You Haven't Done Nothing. But Rick, here's a little quiz for you, a little pop quiz for you.
Oh.
There is a very famous backing vocal group here. I mean, they were famous in their own right, but here they're doing backing vocals. I'd like you to identify them. And there's an Office DVD wigging its way to you, Ricky, if you could spot who it is. Let's
Right,
hear it.
okay, the pressure's on.
Oh, magnificent. Do you know
Brilliant.
that?
Excellent.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Stevie Wonder, You Haven't Done Nothing from Fulfillingness's first finale. It's quite tricky, that, the backing vocals.
Well,
They're
I
not
never get
particularly
that.
prominent,
Well,
are
it
they?
can't, and it could be anyone. So I'll just go for someone that's a vocal group with, I don't know. Is it obvious or is
It's
it...
very obvious.
What, that it would be that they would back him?
It's not obvious that they would back him, but it's obvious that, I mean, they are huge stars, or they were huge stars.
And what is, was it, what's those, what, mid-70s? Early 70s?
Talking mid-70s. 1974 is the album. There's an Office
It's not,
DVD winging its way
not the
through.
Jackson 5, was
It's the Jackson 5.
Is it really?
There they are, well done.
Well, there you
There
go.
you are, yeah. I mean, that's how
done.
big Stevie was, that you could ask the Jackson 5 just to stroll in
There you go.
with some fairly
See?
nondescript backing vocals. stuff.
First album I ever got, Jackson 5.
Was it? Which
Yeah.
one?
It was the one with Rockin' Robin on it.
Nice. Did you rock to that? I imagine you
I-
did. I walked around to that. How old were you? What 18?
I was about, I suppose, I don't know, 11 or 12, and I had one of those little cassette players when you had to press down play and what's it, and it had a little handle that came out.
Yeah, brilliant, yeah.
And I had one CD with it.
Well, one tape.
One tape, yeah.
Sure. And you bought it yourself, did you? Or
No, that was a Christmas present.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And that was the only one you had for like, I imagine like a year or something. Just
Well,
that one tape.
yeah,
endlessly playing.
until
What was
yeah.
your first record purchase?
It was a Disco Fever compilation. Well, actually called Disco Fever, and I got it because I loved Yes
Wait a
Sir, I Can
What, are you
Boogie.
embarrassed about having your mobile on or what?
Something's vibrating, and I'm assuming
Sorry.
it's a mobile.
Oh, so it's my boyfriend. Oh. I did turn the ringer off. Oh, sorry.
So what, is a Disco Fever compilation?
Yeah, featuring Baccarat, Yes Sir, I Can Boogie.
Cracking.
Yeah.
And Space Float On, I think, which is what I want.
Float On, that
yeah,
one?
that's one. Yeah,
That's the Floaters, isn't it?
The Floaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always made me laugh.
Larry.
Yeah.
My name's.
I don't know.
Magic Fly by Space.
All right.
Do you remember that
no,
one?
I don't.
No. Yeah.
No.
I
Okay.
don't know if my first purchase is cool or not, really, because I suppose it seems like it is. It was the greatest hits of the Stranglers.
That is so
we're
cool.
talking
the Stranglers
different-
quite cool?
That's
Yeah.
scary because I finished school by the time that came out. I think that's scary. The Greatest of the Stranglers. No, I was
Well, I
never
think
a
that's more to
Stranglers
do with the
fan.
fact that my parents didn't have any records in the house. I think they had the Jeff Love Orchestra plays big war theme tunes. They had one of those Top of the Pops albums with a woman wearing a neckerchief on the cover.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. And the 1812 Overture, played
I
on
had
the
one of
fiddle or
those.
something.
I had one of those with Mozart's 40th on it because that was released at the time.
Oh, that wasn't obviously Mozart's 40th birthday. That would have been a wild swing.
I'm not
But if
that
he'd made
old.
it that far, that would have
Yeah,
been a wild
that would've
night.
been great,
I'd love to hear
wouldn't
that on record.
How old was he when he died?
He was quite young, wasn't he?
I didn't live long that
18
time, did
or
I?
something? He was a genius. He was a boy wonder.
Yeah,
He was a boy wonder.
He
But a lot of people don't
It was like Ali Jones. It was all over by the time he was 11.
What a lot of people don't realise about Mozart was that he also, in his spare time, used to solve crimes. Yeah, that was why he was so... That was what musical crimes. He was concerned,
Oh, we've come
plagiarism
full
issues, things
circle
like that.
now,
We have
haven't we?
indeed. We've
Yeah,
brought that
yeah.
right back.
Actually, I hate to interrupt you, boys,
Go
but
on,
we
say that
have
again.
got to squeeze one more song in.
the
before-
record.
Okay.
Yeah, break.
What should we do? What should we have?
What have we got there, Claire?
Well,
We
I've-
haven't thought this through.
I've got this one I want to play you. I want
What is
you
it?
to-
You wanna play
by
it?
the Electric Six.
It better be good because if you end a show with it, I mean, we've had lots of faux pas
This
and really
is going
bad
to
bits.
be possibly the biggest song of 2003,
think so?
Rick.
Go on then.
Man alive. Right,
Let's
well, this is it.
relax.
Thanks very much indeed, Claire, for
Cheers,
coming
thank
down.
you.
No, it's a
been
pleasure.
No, it
Is
really was
Carl
good
back
fun.
next week?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just he doesn't care, does he?
Can we just quickly say, so you're on Parkinson tonight then, Ricky? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the office starts, what is it, Monday?
This is easier, this, isn't it? And there's a DVD winging its way.
Hey!
I guess I do want one.
See you next week.
Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning on XFM 104.9. We're back, Steve. It's Saturday.
That's true enough.
Steve Merchant, that is.
Hello there.
I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously.
Hello there.
Carl's still away. Claire Sturgis is back.
That's
Hello.
absolutely true.
Yeah.
Hello there, Claire. Nice to see you. I think a lot of people were hoping that Carl will be back this week, but we're pleased to have you.
No, they were actually. I did get some emails during the week.
Saying what?
Just saying it's really nice to hear you again on a Saturday afternoon. It's nice, and but you're not really very funny. And when's Carl coming back? So sort of being
Sure
nice
it wasn't
to
to
me.
us.
No, it was definitely
Because they think that as well.
directed to me.
But no one can compete with Carl.
They can't.
Well, we used to sort of like come in and when we discovered Carl early on, we just thought this is comedy gold. Just let him speak his mind. But then we started thinking, oh, we can't follow him now. So I remember Steve going, look, we've got to come up with some stuff.
We need to chat. If anything we've got to say to each other, we've got to say that in the first 20 minutes, and then you just unleash Carl.
Yeah, because it's just you can't follow him, and he's off on one. And they have stories of upbringings with bizarre creatures that lived in Manchester that were half human, half bat and frog and things.
I'd love to take him back to Manchester in some kind of TV documentary. You know, when Carl went home and just wandered back, maybe try and find the amphibian twins or whatever those
Yeah,
people were.
they
with
weren't. Yeah, so there was two boys, both had big heads and webbed feet. They weren't related. They didn't hang around with each other.
That was all the information we had.
I went, why not? He went, that would have been too obvious.
Yeah.
Like they look at each other across a room and go, yeah, you think I'm coming to see you just because we're a similar species?
Yeah.
You're mistaken, mate. You make your own friends.
One starts to walk over, the other one shakes his head and just mouths too obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
do it, too obvious.
Out of one of his mouths.
Yeah, that's what they're expecting.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it, Webby.
Yeah, but anyway, he'll be back shortly, I'm sure.
He phoned me. His dad's ill. His dad's in hospital, so Carl went back to sort of look after his mum. And he was so sweet. He said, "I'm back out just driving my mum around." He said, so unbegrudgingly, he just went, "It's like old times." And I said, "Oh, sorry to hear that." And he went, "That's all right, yeah." I think he's going to be fine. And I said, "How was your holiday?" He went, "Yeah, it was good, except it were a nudist beach, they didn't tell me." I went,
Of course it was.
"Oh, what do you mean?" He went, "Well, sitting on the... I don't know why they have to do it. I don't know why they have to do it. Why do they have to do it?" He went, "Suzanne said they think there's nothing wrong with it, like being a transvestite." Right? I went, "I love the fact that your girlfriend has to tell you what's wrong and right in the world." And he went, "Well, we're walking along the beach, fella coming towards us with knob out." I went, "Oh, what's going on here?" Right? And he said, and because it wasn't all nude, he's walking round, he's stark naked, and he wants the freedom of that, but he's got a big rucksack on his back with his clothes on, so he has to get changed. He went, "So what's the point in that?" Right? And I went, "He should just carry the book." He went, "What, and covered it up?" When he went, "Oh yeah, good idea." See? He went, "But I wasn't happy." He says, and that was the first day, so we didn't go there again.
I can just imagine his little face.
Yeah, just going, "All right,
Gobsmacked.
that's out,
Yeah.
that's out. What's that doing out? Why has he got his out?"
I imagine Carl sort of dressed in a suit, in a sort of safari suit, done right up with a cravat. I'm not undressing. I don't want people seeing the flesh. That's for you, love, and no one else.
But I love the fact that as this girl goes, "Carl, they don't think there's anything wrong with it. They're just happy that way." and he in his own mind just goes, "Like being a transvestite." He knows there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm always a little bit suspect about people who like walking around nude.
I
all
think
the
you meant
time.
transvestite.
No, nudists.
What? Hold on. Can you
Well, if you want to
can
get
you
me
be a
started on
naked transvestite? What are you then?
Yeah, I suppose you're...
When Eddie Izzard's naked, is he a naked transvestite?
That's an interesting
clue is-
metaphysical question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On XFM 104.9.
If you know the answer to that metaphysical question, or indeed any of the famous ones, if a tree falls in a forest and no one hears it, has it fallen over? Any of those.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, if you leave the room, Rick,
What's the
does it
sound?
get quieter?
Yeah, what's the sound of one leg hopping?
Exactly. What we got there, Claire?
Do you want some music or
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
bit
What
more
you got?
chat? I've got the Vines actually.
Oh,
All
play
right.
it, play it, play it.
Nice.
Hey Claire, out of the way. No, I'm not talking to you. It's the name of the song by the Vines.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right,
XFM 104.9. I'm Rick Gervais with me, Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
And Claire Sturgis.
Have you ever been to a nudist speech? Have either of you been to a nudist speech?
Yes.
Have you really?
No, last month I went on holiday to Antigua and then I went on the nudist beach.
Really?
I wanted an all over.
Sure. Because I was with my family once when we went on holiday, family holiday with.
I suspect you going on and an inspector coming on going, "And the glasses." And the glasses. And you don't wear them there.
No, I went there with it was some friends of my like family friends, you know, like kids. So it was kids my age and my sister's age who and parents were all friends, you know. Go on holiday to this, end up on this nudist beach. Not a nudist beach, but where people sunbathe topless or whatever. Or maybe it was just because it was France. Where I think a lot of that goes on generally.
All beaches in
Semi.
Yeah, but that's different. The nudist beaches are sort of they're cordoned off.
Sure, yeah, with the cocks and everything.
We can't say that.
You can't say cock.
Or did you mean the chicken? You meant
The
chicken.
chickens.
There's a lot of
them
naked
got
people
farms, a lot of
carry
French
male
farms.
birds around with
There is a
them.
lot of poultry.
And by male bird, I don't mean
You
transsexual.
don't mean no, I don't want to because that's also offensive.
That is also offensive. So be careful.
Yeah,
Whenever,
please be careful. Claire, be careful what you're going to say on
I
there,
just want to
because you've got
say
to be
to the
careful.
radio authority or anyone listening, when we say cock, we are referring to a male bird, and
There is no discussion there. There's nothing. There's no other issue. There's no other ambiguity.
Okay, go on. What are you talking?
So there's people walking around with their birds and often they got their knobs out as well. So it was just a topless. It was just a topless beach. So we're all on
So there were
holiday.
tits there as well.
There were some tits.
We've got a family of tits that come and eat the nuts. That chew on my nuts. Go on.
We're confusing.
No, we have. Jane's got a little bag of nuts that she makes me hang out of the window.
Right.
So
you'll often be hanging your nuts out the window,
and the
so the
tits will
tits
be-
can. Sure.
God, I don't know what.
Please.
Go on with this story.
Sorry.
please.
So what I'm saying is.
God.
What I'm saying is.
Yeah.
We went on holiday as a family there.
Yeah.
There was some tits. there were some cogs. And
Okay.
and I found it all a little bit, because I was about 14 or something, I found it all a little bit disturbing, because I hadn't been introduced to this sort of thing before.
Yeah.
And obviously my dad was having none of it, like a bit like Carl, and obviously my mum wasn't up for that as well. But the person we went, the mother of the person we went with, she took her top off, and I was like, I didn't know where to look, because I didn't want to make an issue of it. I didn't want to make, I didn't want to, but it was like, because I was with my mate, I was going, well, I wanted to say, well, there's your mum with her knockers out, really. I mean, that's your mum over there.
Hello, Dave. There's your mum's knockers. There you go. Yeah. There's your dad. There's your dad popped out.
Yeah.
Popped out. His
He's
little
got
man.
the-
His little
he's got the
man.
fella.
His little fella out
Your
there.
dad's fella's there, he's wandering about, and
He's having a.
and your
he's
mum's got
loving
the,
it. He's getting a
the
tan on his
the old
little
milkers
fella.
out, so it was all it was a little bit disturbing, and I've never quite got that image out of my head, really, because it was all, but I didn't know where to look, I didn't know what to do.
A friend of mine, I won't say what his name is, right? He's about 25 now. When he was, I think, 14 and 15, I mean the worst age, he went to a nudist holiday with his parents and his sister and some of her sister's friends, and he absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
It absolutely.
Well, that's it makes me sort of queasy to think about
Yeah.
it, especially if you're with your family and friends.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind looking at nudie ladies that I don't know, really, but I don't want to look at relatives, or people I've grown up with, or indeed the likes of you. I don't want to have to see that kind of flesh tone. I don't want to know what's going on underneath those clothes. You're keeping them hidden from me. Well, you haven't. You've shown me much of it in the time I've known you.
So sometimes
There's not a bit of your body I haven't seen at some point. You'll have got your trousers down. Look at the arse. That was, thinking that was hilarious, or the old, the Johnson.
Feeding the birds on the windowsill. It is strange because there isn't anyone with it. Let's face it, there isn't anyone with it. But I know what you mean.
I think it's because we spend so much of the time covering it up. It's like in the summer months when girls start wearing kind of short sleeve t-shirts or short skirts. You'll have blokes just going mental. Just I think it's because women spend most of the year because it's so cold here covered up that men forget what's under there. And then when summer comes around, they can't believe it.
Actually just hang out of a car window or hang over scaffolding and say get your tits out. I want to go. Has that ever worked?
Has it ever worked?
What's your success rate with that?
Well, I was off to my big job in the city. I got 20 minutes. Why not? Shall I come up there? Or are you going to come down?
Oh dear.
Extraordinary.
Right, what we got coming up? Quick, keep them hooked.
Well, Rick,
We've got some songs and some more chat.
there'll be some chitter-chatter, and there'll be some songs. We had an email last week from a fella calling himself Paul. I don't know if that's his real name. He said that sometimes...
I'm suspicious.
I'm already suspicious. He said that some time ago we played a cracking Johnny Cash cover version of U2's One. Remember that? I think maybe the last time you were here, Claire, maybe.
Class.
And he says he's been trying to track down that album. He says, unfortunately, like an idiot, I didn't listen to it, and I didn't catch the name of the album. Could you, by any chance, send me the album?
He's having a laugh.
He's having a laugh.
What, for free?
Yeah, so that's not going to happen.
Actually, email him back. Say, Paul,
Shall I do it now?
give us £8 for no reason.
I've also called him some quite offensive names. I'll put from Gervais.
Oh dear, he's not gonna like that.
That's pretty grim.
Nor's his mother.
No,
You shouldn't have brought her into it.
indeed.
Johnny Cash.
Oh, no.
Johnny Cash. Change from a Durex machine. You get
Oh, that's classic. Johnny Cash and his cover of U2's One, magnificent tune. That's from the album American 3, Solitary Man, that was released in 2000. And I've just checked that email that Paul, if indeed that is his name,
Yes.
sent us, Rick, and he didn't ask for a copy of the album, he asked for the name of the album.
Right.
So I feel a little bit bad that I sent that email back insulting him and his mother.
Yeah.
And also, of course, I CC'd it to his mum as well, and many of her friends. So,
Send another one.
I feel...
I think we can get around this. I'll tell you what Paul would like if that is his
If
real
indeed
name.
his name, yeah.
He'd like some adverts.
He'd
wouldn't
love
he?
some bloody adverts, Paul.
Oasis, Little by Little, on XFM. 104.9. I'm just moving the mic there. Hold on, I'm getting comfortable. There you go. Right, sit up. I was
A
lagging.
lot of people do
listening to
that. A lot of people do that during the song. A lot of the old pros. No, a lot of the old
No, I
pros
like
like
that song.
Foxy
That's
and
great,
Tyrant and the
that.
like.
They were on Top of the Pops yesterday, but they did My Generation.
Any good?
Yeah, very good. I mean, you know.
Was it close to the original, or did they make it their own?
No, both. It was pretty close. They did, musically it was close, but they had a certain.
Was it Noel singing or Liam?
Liam, very, very cool, very cool. Good
No, he's
swagger,
amazing.
attitude back.
Yeah.
I think back on form.
Well,
for
people tell me
Oasis.
though that if you go to any of these big stadium gigs they do now, it's an absolute nightmare because a lot of the fans are really grim. I mean, I've spoken to two people independently who've both been at gigs where there have been fans weeing on other fans' shoes. That's not what I want from a gig.
That's not nice.
No,
They
that's
own
not
them
good.
then.
Well, yes,
That's
apparently.
theirs then.
Oh,
Yeah.
what, if you wee on something?
Yeah,
that's
you own
yours.
it. That's it.
Yeah, because cat law. Yeah, cat law is if you wheel on something, then you own it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you live by cat law.
I do.
You do live because my wallet I think you own,
Yeah.
and
Several telephone boxes.
much of my hair.
What were we talking
We
about?
were talking about nudie beaches.
Yeah.
Because I still can't get around.
I don't know why they only play volleyball.
No, that's what they do. Don't they?
Sure, there's other games you could play. I think French cricket would be slightly more.
All the pictures I've ever seen of news colonies always seem to be quite attractive women and some fairly grizzled sort of 45-year-old men. I don't know if that's generally the clientele, that, it just happens to work that way. But I'm quite looking forward to getting to around the 45 mark. I'm just cruising down.
Happy birthday! Right, I'm off. Where are you going without your clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at what point, I mean, you can't go into it, can you, without taking your clothes off? You can't.
I don't know if there's a door policy. Where they said sort of.
No, I think there is, I'm sure.
Oh, actually, no, because when I went to my nudist beach, there was actually a security guard.
Stopping you from...
Naked?
No.
No, Claire.
That's very
Would it be
strange.
possible for a bloke who was, say, a fairly good swimmer to swim up to the beach in a wetsuit and not have to come...
Okay, well, yeah.
Let's say for the sake of it that this person, had some time on his hands.
Yeah.
And he'd made quite a bit of money.
He
recently, he had some time.
trained 9 hours a day at the lengths in the pool,
Yeah.
thinking if I can get Eurostar de France.
It could work. It could work. Yeah.
So what was your nudist beach experience? This was not a colony.
No,
Not a
it
colony
literally
of
just was a
nudists.
choice that this place had a few beaches. One of them was a nudist beach.
And could
If
you
wanted
see
to
the
be all
nudist
over-
beach from the regular beach?
No, you couldn't. You see,
Right.
it was just around the
What about with
corner.
binoculars?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. But you see, my worry is, as a healthy young man...
Yes, you're not
if-
healthy, young woman.
No, but I'm talking about you two.
Right, sure.
You're pretty healthy young men. How awkward it must be for you on a nudist beach if you do happen to see a very good-looking naked lady. What you do if you...
Well, that's the reason I've not gone to any. Okay. Just exactly that worry.
Because it is very off-putting.
Yes. If you had, it sounds like this is a confession.
Exactly, yeah.
Go on,
That
what
did
happened?
actually happen to us.
Really?
An older gentleman obviously was enjoying his time on the beach.
Right, explain more.
And then came over to chat. And you just don't know where to...
Sorry. So hang on. So he approached you,
Yeah, for a chat, as you do. People are friendly.
right, without wishing to get too lewd, within a state of arousal. Is
How
that the
far
case?
can we go down
No,
this? Yeah.
I'm not trying to sort of. I don't want to get too kind of, graphic or gynecological.
Have you noticed...
Go
Oh,
into
I was going to say how quiet Ricky was keeping.
But so he
this
came
morning.
over. He came over.
Well, I'm worried about this. I'm worried about telling this story.
I think it's an interesting. I think this is
Yeah.
an interesting point.
Yeah.
Because so he came over and he was just chatting away.
Yeah.
Quite proudly.
Yeah. Well,
Standing to
eventually got
attention.
quite...
Yeah. And why was this, Claire? I mean, not wishing to be disrespectful, but he's a
I
man.
don't know.
He's been around a bit. Were you reading erotic poetry? What were you?
I was talking about the weather.
Right.
About how nice it was today.
And he approached in pole position, or did he?
No.
Or did he?
I don't like it anymore.
Fine. Okay.
I don't like it anymore.
Let's leave it then. Let's
That's
leave
what I
it.
did. I actually ran away.
You ran away. That's
I went
terrible, isn't it?
swimming.
Was he French? Was it quite tricky to speak to him?
Oh no, he spoke perfect English.
So during the break, right, Claire said, "Oh, what are these which ones, right?" And this man came over, an old fella, and I said, and she started off. I said, "He had the biggest knob I've ever seen." And then I laughed, and then she went, and then it got bigger, and I went, "You can't tell it then." I was worried about that, but she left out the funny bit and you just went all weird. Yeah. So play Bob Dylan. Only Bob Dylan can get us out of this. This is off his last album, Love and Theft. It is the only track I really like, I'm afraid. I didn't get on with the rest of the album because it was too hoedowny and country blues and stuff, which is just not my sort of thing. But this is a nice track called Mississippi. Mississippi, off the album Love and Theft. I must admit, not my favourite Dylan album, but that's a nice track, isn't it?
It's a lovely track, actually. I just noticed there you've brought in 3 CDs.
Yeah.
You bring those 3 in every week, don't you? You just play from those 3 CDs, or what? You substitute the Dylan for different Dylan albums,
Yeah,
and the other
so
2 remain the same.
Well, no, I've got playing a different Cat Stevens. I've got T for Tillerman. I've never brought that in before.
Yes, you have?
Altogether. No,
I've seen it before.
No, I've never played anything off T for Tillerman. I played it off Catchable at 4, Teaser and a Firecat.
You don't have a sort of deal with Island Records to try and keep that Cat Stevens back
Jimmy
catalogue afloat. No one's really shifting it.
I think it might just be CDs that are in the bottom of a bag.
This is why I'm
I'm so
thinking,
lazy
it's just you've
that
got
I
one
brought in-
carrier bag that you bring back. And
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to those later.
Yeah. Go on.
No. I was just really wondering, Rick, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but could I have some adverts?
Yeah. Feeder. Come back around on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Hello there, Steve Merchant here.
Of course you are. And so's Claire Sturgis in a way.
That's true enough.
So
That's true enough.
yeah.
Rick, I partied till it was... I partied last night, Rick, like it was 1999.
Really?
All over
Sort of
again.
old-fashioned sort of way, some old records.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, on my own. In my flat, crying.
Just like 1999.
Yeah, just like 1999. Now, went to see Prince at the, at the Hammersmith Apollo, and I tell you this, I mean, if that's a man whose career is going down the pan, then I'm sorry.
Then I hope ours does.
Then I hope ours does as excitingly as that
Does.
because he was stunning. I mean,
Yeah.
he is. A lot of people I know have seen him in the 80s or whatever, and when he used to descend from a ceiling in a little
I
red
know.
Corvette and stuff. But he is breathtaking. He's like
I always
he's
thought he
like
was-
what it must have been to see Elvis Presley.
Well,
I've
no,
not seen anyone who's electrifying on stage.
I mean, I think, like most people, had a bit too much for him, and that wasn't because it was going downhill. It's because he churned out double albums like most people churn out singles, and you don't know what you should.
can't take
like.
it all in.
There was just too much.
Yeah.
I didn't like the sort of the end of the 80s phase either too
Well,
much. But
that whole period when he was fighting with Warner Brothers and he started wearing masks,
Slave.
and I think everyone just thought, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
You know, you're potty. But he's going to come out the other side of that.
Great
And,
tracks, though, great pop tunes, and he's written. I think
well,
it's brilliant.
I don't bandy this word around, Rick, as you know.
Go on.
But I'd like to use the word genius.
I thought you were going to say I'll pay for that.
No. Genius.
Oh wow.
Genius. Because I would
They're
say...
strong words, Steve. They're
It is a strong word, Rick. It is a
Can
strong
you
word.
back it up? Have you got any example of his work that we could play now on XFM to show that he is a genius?
I will in just one second. Thanks for asking. But can I try and justify that? Can I just, because it is a controversial phrase
Yeah.
to use. Prince is a genius, and let
Yeah.
me tell you why. On his first album, or maybe on a couple of his first albums, he played all the instruments.
Brilliant. Like Squiddly Diddly.
Exactly.
In one episode of that I saw. He was playing the piano. Diddley was playing the piano with his 2 tentacles. Then he was like playing drums with 2 tentacles at the back. He was standing on 2 tentacles, which was the other one free for trumpet.
That sounds like genius to me.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what Mr. Prince.
so-
The only thing I would say about the concert last night, 3 hours. He played for 3 hours
Yeah.
non-stop. Well,
Yeah.
almost 3 hours non-stop. Didn't take a break. Cracking band, only 5 minutes.
Imagine taking a break, just reading the paper, having a coffee, going, what are you looking at?
And also very
I've got
witty.
20 minutes, by law.
Very witty as well, because a lot of people imagine him being quite dry and not quite sober. It was very funny. But, sadly, Prince now... Well, I don't mean to be offensive,
couldn't see him
but
'cause he was
as
so
far as I'm
small.
concerned,
What?
he's now a Jehovah's Witness. He's
he?
now a Jehovah's Witness.
So he's
And-
going to come round tonight.
Well, no, but at the end, he did sort of spout on about, his beliefs.
Yeah.
And I felt a bit like I'd sort of, do you know what I mean? Like I'd sort of paid 40 quid and I'd queued up and I'd sat for 3 hours
paid
to
40
then
quid?
to then be preached at a little bit. So that was the only thing that put
Well,
a
I'll
foot
tell you
down for
what,
me.
good job for him. He was good value, because he'd have got an earful from you if he did. Imagine if he'd not played the singles or only did
Exactly.
like 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, I'd have been livid. I'd have stormed out. I'm out of here. But I did, because I don't know.
Prince. So you've had, that's interesting. Steve Merchant says Prince is a genius. This is XFM 104.9 coming up to 2 o'clock. Prince is a genius. Can we open the phone lines, please? What's the phone number there, Claire?
08700 800 123.
Me and my mate were talking about when people say genius, and they do bandy it around willy-nilly, and it's sort of like a comedian or something. They go, he's a genius, and we think that there's people in cancer research sort of laboratories and AIDS, and they're going, we lost another one to ITV.
yeah.
Why didn't he go into science? He could have been the new Newton, but no, he's getting the ratings up for 5.
Exactly.
So, but Prince is a genius, is he?
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you'd like to email.
Prince, genius or little fella? It's up to you.
But when you are Jehovah's Witness, I don't know much about the faith. But are you obliged when you sign up to sort of do your time going door to door? Because it would be amazing. Imagine Prince turning up at your door and just, "Hi, can I come in?" Well, I don't know. And and just coming in and I'll sing you some of the hits, but I'd like you to buy a copy of this afterwards. I'm not really interested. Which ones are you going to play? Which ones are you going to play? 'Cause I'm not a big fan of. I don't like If I Was Your Girlfriend. And anything from Diamonds and Pearls, I'm not interested in. So shoot off.
Yeah, I quite
Because I thought they were going to start selling the Watchtower at the end.
The most beautiful. I like that one.
Yeah.
Well, there's those fat people in it.
Does it make him a genius?
Oh, call up 10235 96429. Prince, genius or bloke with hair?
Well, this has got to be proof of his genius. He played it last night, and it's just dynamite.
There it is, Strawberry Scar.
Prince, of course, and Raspberry Beret, one of the tunes he played last night, and breathtaking, I have to say. I can't sing his praises enough. Although, didn't manage to get myself into the after-show party, where Prince is often renowned for playing with the likes of... jamming with the likes of Rolling Stones.
What would have been your approach to get in?
Steve Merchant here, XFM, Ricky Gervais Show. Any chance I could come in
To your party?
to your party, please?
I'll be honest, can I call you Lanky?
Well, if it'll help me get in, yeah.
It won't, but thank you anyway. I'll be honest, Lanky, your chances are slim to none. 4 eyes.
Okay, all right. I enjoyed the concert, if that is any...
Okay,
I could talk about it on the radio. I'm
going to take away that slim.
Okay.
It's none now, freak.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So go away, yeah?
Cheers.
Okay. Was it something like that?
It was not dissimilar, Rick. There was a lot more profanity last night. And punches were thrown.
Was it last night?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was breathtaking. How's it working out for you, Rick? How's it working out for you being a celeb? How is that working out? How's that panning out for you? Is that all right? Is that working all right, Rick? Is it? Hey, all the fame and everything. How was David Bowie on Tuesday? I read about that. Why did I have to read about your presence at the David Bowie gig in the Evening Standard? Why did you keep that from me? Why did you keep that from me?
Right, okay. Right, I know what you're thinking. I got an invite. It was freebies and I didn't.
Because I discussed this in the past. I said if you get invited to David Bowie or any of the big name concerts, I got to go as well. That's the rule. The rule is that we make the TV show. You're in the show. You become famous. Fine, but I need to be able to also get the benefits of that.
Well, I didn't go. Did you read this in the Standard?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, no. It said.
Well, it was in the paper. Rick. It was in the paper.
It said present at the concert. It's absolutely true. I'm not bullshit. Absolutely true. In the concert were Ricky Gervais and Jonathan Ross. Now we were invited, but we couldn't go. Neither of us could go. So I just think they must have seen a copy of the guest list or someone said they were coming, or they just guessed. But I didn't go. I couldn't go. So there you go. It was Wednesday, and I couldn't go. If I'd have gone, you'd have been there, mate.
Rubbish. Because what worries me is that you were invited, or you requested tickets and then you didn't go.
No. What happened was the Bowie's people just said, "Are you coming to the concert tonight?" And I said I couldn't. But let me tell you something.
Wait a minute.
To get you off this track, right? The next night, we did go to dinner with Bowie at someone's house.
As far as it can go, the next thing that Max Carlish does is go off and sell little bits of.
But look, wait, listen. It was a small affair. It was me and Jane, Jonathan, and Jane. It was David.
First names.
Yeah, no, and I think it was just, old friends of the family. It was a beautiful house, and it was just us lot, and Richard E. Grant and Pete Townsend and Charles Saatchi and that, and it was just, you know, I think it was, and it was set places as well, so I couldn't have got another. It was weird because we got there. It said 8 for 8:30, and I got there at like 8:05. And Jane, we can't go too early. And we went in there. And the servants gave us a drink, and we were standing there. And I was looking around. It was an amazing house. It was a beautiful house. And there's Damien Hirst paintings and Lucian Freud. And the host comes in. I'm going to go. You didn't tidy up for us, did you? But I was actually so overwhelmed. And in through the door, let himself in through the door, Richard E. Grant. And I went, all right. And he went, yeah, I'm Richard. I went, yeah, all right. And I went, just let yourself in. He went, yeah, I live next door. I went, oh, okay. And then David Bowie came in, and he came over and spoke to me, and he went, I've just seen your video, and then this isn't helping, is it? Because this isn't helping.
Well, when you... I mean, the phrase I was just going to pick you up on there on was, I've just seen your video. Because what, no, I just feel that just for a second. What I feel that David should know is that it wasn't made sort of solely by you, or written entirely by you, or directed entirely by you. It happens to feature you amongst a myriad of other actors, all of whom are brilliant and equally worthy of an invite to that particular do. But you'll notice that the person that's representing the show, what got you a place around this table, you notice the one person that was invited is you.
Yeah.
Just you.
Yeah. Well, there's a very good reason.
And a woman, what do you know, who wasn't involved with the show? Your girlfriend.
Well, we've got partners. You've got, that's
Well,
it.
yeah, but once again, she could have stayed at home.
You could have gone on first.
She'll be doing the as well. But that's exciting stuff. And Marsha's coming up after.
Well, I did actually say if ever I get invited to see Woody Allen, and it's two people, that it would have to be you and Jane that went, because you're both bigger fans than me, and I promised that. And
So,
she went along with that.
So David enjoyed the show, did he?
He did, yeah. Yeah, he did, yeah.
And how did the evening pan out? Was it suitably rock and roll?
It was very nice. It was really nice. A pleasant.
What did you have to eat?
I had there was nibbles sort of coming round,
Nice,
and then
yeah.
They fed you the food, didn't they? I bet they fed you the food.
and then we had what was it? What was for starter? It was like a ravioli thing for starter. I thought I won't have too much. I fill out for the fish dish. The fish was lovely, and there was a sort of chestnut mousse.
And what did you talk about with David Bowie?
Just music.
Yeah.
Music.
You appearing on his next album.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, what, seriously, what, because I'm interested to know.
It was really nice. He's really so nice and normal. And he actually came over and he said, I've just seen your video. And then he went, he said, are you going to get the band back together? He meant he'd seen the Room 101. And he was basically taking the mickey out of me. And he was going, no, I thought it was really good.
Because you were just a sort of Bowie rip-off,
Exactly,
wasn't you,
yeah, and no, it was really nice and normal affair. Seriously, it was just really. I mean, I was going, oh my God, there's so and so, there's so and so.
Yeah.
But it was we really enjoyed it. It was really pleasant, and everyone was, And at the end, the people whose house it was friends of his, like sort of really old friends of his, got out a photo album, just like you do, and there's pictures of like David Bowie and
Dave, yeah, sure. Well, no, I mean, that's the great thing about DB is he's
and Iggy Pop when they were cooking, and David Bowie was sort of going, look at Iggy cooking, and he was laughing like you do a mate you haven't seen. It was so sweet. It was just so nice. And then I'm gonna see play a record, Claire, because it is actually a little bit annoyed me. Play a record.
Then Robert De Niro popped in.
Yeah.
And it all got a bit depressing.
And Woody Allen.
Yeah.
And he went, do you know anyone that likes my work more than you do? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Coral.
Dreaming of You on XFM 104.9.
Yeah, one of the only tunes on the album I think worth listening to.
I haven't heard it.
Oh, it's rubbish.
Is it really?
Everyone's singing its praises like they're the saviours of British rock, but it just sounds like the Inspiral Carpets, and I don't mean that as a good thing.
We were
Skeleton Key as well, Steve.
That's not too bad, yeah, but the rest
it's
is...
all right.
I think it's not. I think it's more sort of like 1978, 79, sort of those.
I don't know what that means, Rick.
Well, I don't think I've ripped off the 90s. I think
Old hat, you mean? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like it.
Let me just return very briefly to your no, I don't. I'm not going to embarrass you, but just returning very quickly to your dinner date with David Bowie. What intrigued me, as you said, is that when you
No, it wasn't because of The Office. It was through I think because I met him with Jonathan Ross.
Sure, no, but what I thought was interesting is you
people he'd met over this time, because I think he was going back to America.
Of course, but I love the fact you say that he came over to you and said, I saw your tape last night. You know, I just like the idea that people are sort of saying, you'll be having lunch tomorrow with Ricky Gervais. I don't don't know who that is. Well, there's a tape, watch that, and you'll be able to engage in some conversation. He's a minor celebrity here in Britain. He's had a relatively successful TV show, but we think he's a bit of a one-trick pony. Probably won't be able to repeat that success, so probably we'll need to be eating with him in the next 5 years, but be polite tomorrow. He was a big fan of yours. He used to embarrass himself in the 80s doing a sort of vague pastiche of you, and other than that, there's not much else to say, really. Just be polite to him and then move on. Okay, who else has got... You know, it's just sort of... It's very odd that he was given a tape. It's like someone... you know, if you were doing a chat show, you imagine Michael Parkinson would be given a tape.
I know, yeah.
Just watch this, David.
Oh, actually, I think he's been a fan for a long time.
Oh, what?
I think he's followed my career from the 80s.
Sure.
No, when you put it like that, it's not as flattering, is it?
It's free.
He was very nice and very polite, and we got on like a house on fire.
Sure.
No, he's great.
Did you do your impression of him?
No, of course I
Did
didn't.
you not? Did you feel like the urge to snap into it just occasionally?
And I didn't. I was just going. That's David Bowie. That's still David Bowie. That's David Bowie talking to me now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's David Bowie talking to me now.
Yeah,
That looks like David Bowie. Yeah, that was what was going through my head.
Yes.
And we're talking about his songs, and that was bizarre. It was quite surreal, and you know, and I do know a lot about his stuff because I mean, he's quite a musical hero of mine.
Yeah.
And so it was.
You didn't mention Tin Machine.
I didn't mention Tim Machine.
Because I'd just be there just thinking, don't mention Tin Machine, don't mention Tin Machine.
Yeah.
Don't even bring it up, don't even say you like it, because you don't know what he feels about it.
You see, I think if people listen to this show, they go, don't invite Steve Merchant because he's insulting. He insults people, he sends emails to people when he reads them wrongly.
Yeah.
He'll bring up a period of your life you don't want to talk about.
Yes.
Get the little short fat one. He's a lot more polite.
Sure.
Leave out the lanky one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they probably wouldn't say lanky, Rick. They don't know what I look like because they listen to me on the radio. I think they're insulted. They might say, oh, you know, West Country, oik or something.
Yeah.
But
who was it I was listening to? Someone yesterday. There was someone had a Bristol accent.
fascinating.
No, I think. Oh yeah, it was one of those the Fame Academy. Disappointing, but I think you'll have to get into it. Bit of a shambles at the moment, but I mean, no, there's no investment. I didn't know them, and one of them had a Bristol accent, and I just thought it really is a stupid accent. What have we got lined up, Claire? What have we got?
Well, a bit of John Spencer blues.
Oh, I love this. I love it.
Yeah.
This is an old classic
All right.
I brought in today, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Hello.
Don't even start on that, Rick. There's so much I could attack you about. I mean, look at you, you're laughable. John Spencer Blues Explosion.
Oh, you do it.
Well,
Sorry.
no, I just thought I would.
Yeah.
On account of I brought it in.
And then someone was complaining that we speak over each other,
Yeah, we had an email saying we gabbled too much.
and we both went, I don't think we do.
Yeah. Did you say that? I didn't hear you. I was talking at the time.
Yeah.
Right Place, Wrong Time by John Spencer.
Yeah. I don't know.
We also had an email. You didn't enjoy it? You didn't enjoy it? No. We also had an email saying again.
No, go on. I won't. I did this. Go on. Sorry. No, you.
You can see why that would annoy me.
I know.
You can see why that might annoy me.
Take your headphones off then, because it must be loud in your headphones. Because I don't wear headphones.
No. I'm not so much thinking of me as the people listening at home.
Okay.
The people who pay our wages.
Go on then.
We had an email that said, but I don't know who's the victor in this, Rick. I don't know who's winning with you making that noise. But you're the only person who's enjoying it.
But if I only do this for my
But there's a handful of people listening, Rick, whose Saturdays, Rick, are empty. They've got nothing.
Okay.
They're running on empty, and this is all they've got.
Okay.
And they want conversation. They
Okay,
want an
well,
interesting
what are you going to
discussion.
say then? It depends if it's interesting or not.
Well, let me say it before you make the judgment.
Okay.
So, all right, what about this? If you don't like, if it's not interesting, then you make the noise.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so this is just, we had an email. It said, is Claire Sturgis drunk when she does the show? I swear to God, that was a real email. I lost it now. But, so does that warrant the noise? Or?
No, that's all right. That's quite interesting, yeah.
quite interesting.
No, she's not. No, she's not. Drunk, is she?
Bit coked up.
That's not true.
Yeah, just
it's not true.
The old Charlie.
No, not true at all.
No, you don't do drugs, do you? Claire, you're not into drugs, are you?
No.
Yeah, you're clean now. How did that go for you, the detox?
It was great, but mainly thanks to you two.
Yeah.
The support.
At least you don't have to steal so much now to beat the habit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Are there any drug addicts on this station?
No, not anymore. No.
People should really not miss Catterick. If you haven't watched it yet, it's on BBC
Are there any any skag eggs, any smack eggs at all? Seriously, because I'm intrigued.
Not anymore, no.
Can you tell me off air who's a drug
Off
addict?
air, I'll be happy to tell you.
Yeah, there
Not
are some,
anymore.
though.
Yeah,
That's
there were,
terrible.
not anymore.
What do you mean? They got rid
No,
of them?
there weren't. Stop this.
Are there any people who
No.
they think that they've got it under control, but they haven't really? It is.
Yeah.
There are some, aren't
They
they?
go in, they think that no one will notice, but they've got no pupils.
Yeah,
And they just stare at you for ages and go, what? At the end of each sentence.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a couple of drunkards I know, but there's no. It's boring now. Okay, play a record. It's boring. Ricky Gervais is telling us it's boring.
Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah. No one knows. It's going well.
I'm enjoying it.
to go.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
bad, yeah.
Adverts or what?
What do you reckon? He's loving them.
He knows.
Getting away with it from electronic, of course. Fantastic tune. Yeah, no, it's
That's
a beautiful
a
tune.
mutual favourite of ours. We both like that, don't we, Steve?
We do indeed.
both
Yes,
like that.
we are mutually appreciative of that track. Ricky
Yeah.
Gervais, of course, friend of the stars. Claire Sturgis is here. My name's Steve Merchant. Ahoy.
Yeah, XFM 104.9.
So I saw you the other day because I haven't seen you this week, but I did see you walking on the street holding a gum shield that you just bought. How'd that work out for you? The boxing.
Oh, it was really good.
Because we talked about. Are you aware of this, Claire? That he wants to become a boxer. This is something that Ricky talked about the other week on the air. He suddenly decided at the age of 40 something that boxing is really
Well,
the
no,
profession he should
hold
have
on.
taken
Right,
up.
40-something means 47. I'm just 41.
Okay.
I am 40-something, but 40-something is like a euphemism for nearer 50.
Yeah.
So don't say 40-something.
Okay.
Say 30-something.
Yeah. So yeah, he's taking up. But apparently, there's something called white collar boxing. Claire. Did
Yeah.
we mention this last week?
No, you didn't know, but I didn't know something about. I think you mentioned it.
Yeah, he
last week.
he
White
bas-
collar boxing.
Yeah, it's basically it's like a kind of a classier version of Fight Club, the film Fight Club. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
So instead of they don't meet in sort of dingy cellars, they meet in what office blocks or.
And it's usually for charity at the Grosvenor or something, or a big hotel, I don't know. And you just have like a bill on there and you punch each other for charity.
serious?
Yeah, but anyway, I've been training boxing for a while now, just like, you know, the pads and everything. And last week we started on sparring, and it is a different level. Honestly, I can work out now for an hour on the pads, and I did about 1.5 rounds, and it was like I was asthmatic. Because you're also, the trainer, who is a bit of a boxer himself, put the gum shield and he goes, okay, I'm not going to, and I was giggling with fear. And he said, you got to get a gum shield just in case. And that's where he saw me. I'd gone to the Lonsdale shop, and I got a gum shield.
I said this before, Claire, is that I just don't think it's a good idea. I mean, you know Ricky, you've known him for a while
Yeah.
now. He's not mentally tough, which is a
Yeah.
problem, I think. He's not sort of psychologically, he's quite weak. Like, he's scared of a lot of things, you know, cars.
Spiders.
I mean, he'll get. I've seen him like edgy, like if a car blows its horn and he's in the house. Do you know what I mean? And hear it outside. You know, what's that? Is it coming through the door? Is it? No, it's all right, Rick. We're on the 8th floor, and it's across town. It's fine. Don't worry.
I don't like cross.
No, he can't. I mean, I've never seen a man so
And
terrified.
on the motorway, if someone's going on the motorway, I'm looking at the speedo, and if it's like 86, 76, I'm going, well, let's go in the slow lane. And I'm looking, my eyes like saucers, just taking in all the information. Yeah.
Because he can't drive
That's
as
a
well.
rational fear, though, isn't it? Roads
But I
are
think it's
scary.
because you can't drive.
Yeah,
So,
possibly,
for instance, the fact that I've seen. I mean,
Actually,
he's.
you're right, because I can't drive, and I do exactly the same thing on motorways.
so that's all right. Yeah.
But do you do this, Claire, which is when you're in the back of a cab and you feel the cab's going too fast, despite the fact that you're, say, driving up Shaftesbury Avenue in rush hour.
Yeah.
So you're never going to pick up a great deal of speed.
Yeah.
But Ricky he won't mention it to the driver. I feel you're going a bit too fast. He'll whisper it to me.
No,
He's
see, I
basically
would do
suggesting to me that I should say something. Because I'm Ricky Gervais off the telly. I don't want to cause a fuss. You better do it, Steve, because you're nobody. That's basically what he's
No, but
insinuating.
roads
So
are
I've always got to
scary.
sort of make the complaint, or
Yeah.
I've got, you know.
And,
But you're terrified of you're terrified of that. You're terrified of spiders, as we know.
Yeah.
Cobwebs. You're terrified
That's
of
rational,
pictures of
'cause
spiders.
there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah.
I know who made those webs, Steve, and they live there.
Yeah, it was you that got the certificate, wasn't it, raised on the Spider-Man film? So they couldn't show the trailer before, you'd gone to bed. Are you scared of Spider-Man? Does he terrify you?
No, I'm not scared of Spider-Man. No, I'm not scared of anything. But I'm quite used to the, in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. That one that kept walking off the stream. I got quite used to him. I got to know him.
Barry Geller?
Yeah, he was alright. Yeah, he was alright.
So you're scared of that?
Tarantulas
And,
aren't as scary as the bath ones. Tarantulas are sort of like more furry.
But what about these? Because you know these programs where they'll have people on and they'll sort of like I saw a show once where it was about phobias and a woman was terrified of dogs and a psychologist kind of got her to spend some time with the dog and slowly you've got no urge to sort of try and have that therapy done and so you can maybe deal with your which is basically, let's be honest, a woman's concern. It's a woman's fear, isn't it, essentially?
That I stand on a chair.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, but I saw one, what's that one, he's really nice. He's not Jerry Springer, he's really nice and he has, weird people on it. Is it?
Montel Williams?
No.
Montel Jordan?
No. About 50.
Maury.
Yeah,
Maury Povich. Maury
Yeah.
Povich.
Yeah. He's the one without glasses, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who cares? You saw Maury Povich.
Yeah, and there was like these women on there, right? And the, trailer trash, and they were going, "You're scared of snakes, aren't you?" And then a woman would go on a snake, and she'd be screaming, knocking things over, and okay, well that's not doing anyone any good. Really?
Yeah.
That's just for the audience to prove her point that she's terrified. And it was like tinfoil, and someone brought on millions of bags of tinfoil, and she was screaming,
What, she
hugging
was
him.
scared of tinfoil?
Yeah, that's worse, isn't it?
Scared of tinfoil is pretty mad.
Yeah, well, it's irrational. You
I know
can't
somebody
link it back.
who's afraid of buttons.
Yeah, anything.
Afraid of buttons?
Yeah, there's
Afraid
something
of buttons.
weird going on in your head, isn't it? It's some sort of weird symbolism.
But I understand the snake one or the spider one because I understand there are poisonous spiders and snakes.
Well,
but
it also could
tinfoil
be sort of like chemical memory. Yeah, that could be, but it's usually some,
But how do you? Because I don't know. Because I don't have any irrational fears, particularly.
Well, don't confuse.
Except when you're flatulent. That I'm terrified of because you never know when he's going to spring. Because he's not got any of the social graces, Ricky. He'll just think it's funny to just pass wind. Dinner. I don't imagine he did it during dinner with Bowie. But if I'm having lunch with him, because he'll just start grinning, and it's on the way, Claire. There's something in the post when Ricky starts when his lips curl up, you're having lunch maybe, here it comes. And it is, I tell you, it is eye-watering stuff. I mean, it's intense.
Oh, tell that story when you're on the train.
There is only one smell that is worse than Ricky Gervais' flatulence. I was on a train once, and a guy was on there with his dog, and the dog passed wind, right? I don't know what he'd been feeding it, like sheep or something. Cattle. He must have been feeding it some, you know what I mean, like intestines or something. It was intense. This smell pervades the carriage, because they're all they're all kind of air conditioned or they're tight, so there's nowhere for the smell to escape. So it's just kind of spreading, like in this kind of invisible sort of stench that fills up the carriage. I tell you, people's eyes were bleeding. Do you know what I mean? It was like it was just. It was unbelievable. I felt like my face was melting, like that bit at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was how it felt, right? And the bloke, who was obviously a bit embarrassed, said, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know who's worse, with their flatulence, people or dogs. And I wanted to go, I've got an idea. How about dogs? What about your dog? It was unbelievable. But it's that. Let's try and make a joke of it. No, get off the train at the next stop. It was just. I don't like people with dogs anyway. Just generally, you'll see people. No, Rick. When you see people walking down the road with dogs and they just let a dog, do its ones or its twos on the side of the road, and then they just walk on. I just don't know what that is.
No,
it's
you're not meant to. That's wrong.
No, but it is right. And it really winds me up because you'll see people. It'll be like old ladies or kind of toffs. Or something like that, and they were the sort of people that will complain about, bad language on TV, or youths, or ne'er-do-wells hanging out by bus shelters.
Yeah.
But they're happy for their dogs to, go crapping on the sidewalk. They anger me, people with dogs who just are irresponsible like that. Do you know what I mean?
agree. Well, that's nothing to do with liking dogs, is it? That's arrogance of people to think.
But there are a lot of people, as I say, who are kind of, you know what I mean, who think they're better than they don't have to worry. They don't have to bend down and scoop it up. I know. Which is what they should do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, I got
that off my chest.
Yeah.
Play a record.
U2, Electrical Storm. They've done it again. I thought that is beautiful, that track.
I know you used to disrespect U2.
I just didn't like them for 10 years, and then All That You Can't Leave Behind came out, and I sort of thought, well, I could have been wrong, and that's brilliant. So,
Rick, earlier I mentioned Prince, and we asked the question, is Prince a genius or not? We've had a lot of response, mainly by email. Interesting, Rick, some people think he is, and some people think he isn't.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, this debate will rage on. Can we have some adverts? Well, in the last half hour, Steve, they've heard Nirvana, they've heard Oasis, they've heard they've heard Dylan. We've got coming up, we've got Cat Stevens, we've got Tom Waits. You know what I mean? Now
It's great music.
we're playing a lot of music and talking less in the last bit. Now some people, right, would say that's because we ran on empty and we ran out of things to say at 20 past the first hour.
Yeah.
Right. I say it's because we want to get in some great tracks.
Oh, well, that's my excuse as well.
What's next? Cat Stevens off Tea for the Tiller Man. I've got nothing, Steve.
You're running, I know.
Nothing.
But it's the noise. I think the noise was the noise point.
Is it the noise?
The noise was really annoying.
Miles from nowhere. Guess I'll take my...
Cat Stevens from Tea for the Tiller Man.
So many people, Rick, haven't even got a Cat Stevens record in their collection, and you hear tunes like that, you just think, do you know what I think of them?
You think why?
I think why, Rick?
We just had someone phone up saying they want a bit of psychedelic fairs, and Claire said, "Oh, what's your favourite track?" And we both went, "It'd be Pretty in Pink," and it was.
Yeah.
But you know, you meant to say like on Heart or Magic. You're told to say coming up a classic by so and so, and people stay watching in case it's their favourite, and if it's not, you don't give that away. But it doesn't work when it's things like I hear things all the time like and after this a classic from Men at Work. That'll be down under then.
Yeah.
Coming up next, a beautiful tune by Danny Wilson. Mary's Prayer. It's Mary's Prayer. It can only be Mary's Prayer.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work with those that they've had one hit.
Yeah. Or a tune from Hearsay. Oh, I hate them all.
Nice.
You know, because like rock and roll
Come
and
on,
that, we hate
Steve.
them all.
Don't kick them when they're down.
Yeah, it's true enough. God, what other pop do we hate?
You know that thing,
Well, we
yeah.
all hate pop music, don't we? That's why
Yeah.
we're an alternative station.
Agadoo's rubbish.
Oh, I hate it. Russ Abbott, Atmosphere. There's no atmosphere in here with that playing. Oh.
Last night's thing started, the Fame Academy, and I'm quite a sad telly watcher, and I've been looking forward to that for about 2 weeks. I fell for the hype, I can't believe it. I love Pop Idol, I love Pop Stars The Rival, I love Celebrity Fit Club, I love all those things, right? But just disappointing because I'd already picked them. I think it's investment, and I'll be honest. I think the standard was poor.
The standard was poor.
I think so.
And are these people with different abilities, or is it all singing?
It's just all singing. It's rather like they've got us down to the last 12 of Pop Idol, say.
It's like that. You come in at that level.
But to be fair to the programme, I think it's all about what happens next because now they get voted out like Big Brother.
Right.
And so
do they write their own material and stuff, or
they'll
it's
be
just
taught to do that. They've got the whole team together and everything. So then they're filmed, you know, like for 24 hours a day and everything. And so I think you've got to get into it and get to know these people. There's always a few. There's already a few. I go right. She's annoying.
Yeah.
Right. Vote her out. And they have to. There's 3 that the teachers say each week. Okay, you're up on probation, and then you vote them out, and it gets it down to one person. But the interesting thing is, it's not just they get a record and they release a single. They live the life for a year.
Right.
So they get this beautiful sort of pad in Notting Hill Gate. They get a sports car, right? And it says they get to go to parties. They're already set up to go to the FA Cup final, the Brits and all those things.
Dinner parties with David Bowie.
Yeah, meet all these people, and then after a year it's taken away from them.
wow?
They just take everything back.
And you don't like this because you feel it cheapens like your celebrity lifestyle, which you've worked for.
No, but the other thing is, of course, they could be big stars by then, and they just have to get their own car. But how do they? What?
That psychologically is going to be grim.
But are we going to follow it up for that year? Are we going to? Is it like?
Well, that's when it becomes interesting. I mean, now camera crews following Hearsay. Now that's interesting.
Yeah, I know, and like
Now
what
I'd like to
Jay
see
did
what happened.
next,
Yeah,
or how they-
exactly.
when they actually, yeah, that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they're going to do it.
How long, Jane? Jane, why do I call you Jane? There's so many. The name Jane's been mentioned so many times.
You can call me whatever you like, Steve.
Love. Well, how long do you reckon Ricky would last in the Big Brother house? If he was in Celebrity Big Brother, how long would Ricky stay in there?
Well, you see, as a...
Well, it depends, you see.
Oh,
Go on,
that's
you
a tough
answer.
one. No, because as someone who would be watching Big Brother if Ricky was in there, I would make sure that he stayed in right till the end, just for
Of
comedy
course.
value.
Well, of course, because you know he's irritating. He's a sort of...
So I'm Chris
But if
Eubank,
You're the
then,
Chris
aren't I?
Eubank of the house, but obviously a lot of people tend to vote out the most irritating, annoying, most loathsome person.
Well, they
straight
want to
away.
get rid of me, but the public presumably
Yeah, the
might
public
want me in
will
there
live with you.
as a sort of
You know what?
irritant.
I think the public would turn against you as well. I know you, Rick.
Right, well, that's
it will
like
expose
it.
you for the charlatan you are. We haven't played a song for the ladies for some weeks because I
yeah.
just keep forgetting to bring
I
one in.
need one. I need one.
Thank you, Jane. I thought, I haven't played Tom Waits for a while, and this is, one of his classics, and it's just beautiful, beautiful tune, and however many times you've heard it, it's still brilliant. Downtown Train, Rick.
Oh, I can't believe it.
We're back next week, and Carl hopefully is back with us.
Carl, I think will be, yeah. Well, we don't know, but
Let's hope everything's
I'm
okay,
Sure,
then.
I'm sure it is, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Jane.
Bye, everybody.
I lied and didn't.
Strokes. Someday. I'm already annoyed. I've been
I'm in
here
a bad
3
mood.
minutes, and I'm already annoyed.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll bring back Claire, I'll tell you.
No, it's not his fault. It's the whole
is.
place. The library's shite. I tried to go. Oh God, I had to go
Chill,
to Capital
chill.
Library.
Chill,
Fancy that. I had to go to Capital Library to get a couple of records I wanted. Right, place is falling apart. The email's not working. It's so shoddy. He's had 2 weeks off. Holiday. I mean, they might as well bulldoze this, honestly, because for all the,
It is ludicrous.
and we get paid peanuts.
You get paid, you?
Oh, and it really annoys me that they have to fight. Oh, anyway.
Anyway, just calm down.
104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. Carl, you're back.
All right.
How was it?
What, the holiday?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't all fun, was it? Because my dad was in hospital.
Oh, but he wasn't
during the holiday.
Not during the holiday, though, was he? You came back from holiday and then found that out, didn't you?
Yeah, but it happened when I was on holiday.
Did you know that, though, when you're on holiday?
No, I didn't take my phone with me.
Well,
But
that's
the
our
weird thing
question.
is,
Yeah.
I got a feeling when I was sat there, because it normally happens.
It
Last
wasn't a
time,
nudie speech, was it?
when I first went
We
away,
saw that old fellow with his packet out.
when I went to Ibiza, right, I had a feeling, and I called her, and my dad had punctured a lung.
When you
this
say you had a
time-
feeling, what do you mean a feeling?
Just like, oh, I should call home, there's something not right. But this time,
very
I thought,
specific feeling. How did that manifest itself? How did you get that? What kind of feeling? Is that a tingling thing?
I'm getting a bit of a lung feeling.
Yeah,
A bit of a dad lung feeling.
That feels like a punctured lung.
Hold on.
anyway.
But anyway, the holiday was good. We talked about it last week.
Well,
didn't we?
let's probe Carl about his holiday later, because
Okay.
that's the sort of thing that audiences will stay tuned for, Rick, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah,
To find out about
You know
the
more
things.
about this radio business than me. You know,
That's true.
you've hooked them already.
Indeed, yeah. Well, also, I'm thinking we've got nothing.
Ever
So,
now.
we may as well save that.
No, I resent it. I used to put a lot of work in, but now I think of the money, which is, for me, pretty shoddy.
Well,
You know
yeah,
what
I mean,
I don't usually
you
get
make
out of
an
bed
awful
for
lot of cash.
Well, exactly, yeah. And the whole thing is the whole setup. It was raining today. I thought I should have a cabin. But then the sun came out, so I walked in again. Ah, dear.
How are you?
But I'll tell you what, I got a bit criticised last week as well. That I only played ballads and same songs, so I'm going to rock out this week.
Oh, no.
I've been down to the Capital Library
Right.
to get some good tunes. And what about a little bit of AC/DC? Oh, took me all night long.
Let's hear it.
Well, that's cheered me up.
In a better mood now?
Yeah.
Good.
That's great. Should we rock out today?
Yeah, well,
Bit
yeah.
of Led Zeppelin, maybe Stones.
Brilliant, yeah, some of the classics. and
Yeah.
everything.
When are we going to talk about Carl?
Have we run out of stuff already? Okay,
already.
let's go.
Okay, now, yeah.
So where did you go, Carl? What was the story?
it was my birthday, right? Went home after working with you a couple of Saturdays ago, right? Girlfriend was like, open your card. And I said, no, it's my birthday on Monday, I'll open it then.
You obey by the rules, don't you, of birthdays? Birthday rules.
Well, there's no point.
Well, exactly. Chaos leads that way.
Yeah, right, so,
Not an anarchist, never has been.
so anyway, she was kept going on, it was doing me head in, so I said, alright, I'll open it.
Yeah.
So I opened it, ticket fell out, surprise holiday to one of the Canary Islands. So,
And what was your reaction? I mean,
first one was we haven't got enough money
right.
for this, but I didn't want to ruin it, so
No.
so I didn't go on about that, and I said, oh, it'd be great, so I can't wait. So,
Did you say it in that tone of voice?
well, it was good timing because I was tired and everything, and I'm not a big holiday fan, but the timing was right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same as last night. I don't always like a curry, but last night
You're in the mood.
you get that sort of, oh yeah.
Curry, you had a feeling.
Yeah, you had a feeling
You
for
thought,
it.
and then lo and behold, later you were eating the curry. It's weird, isn't it?
Very
Isn't it weird, the
strange. Life is-
paranormal? Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird?
They work in mysterious ways.
Yeah,
ghosts.
yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, right, the island, if I was on Wish You Were Here, I'd probably say it's a bit barren.
Okay.
Not much there, but if you get a hotel, you guarantee good weather. Right?
Are you?
No, what I mean is, it'll be a good holiday. If you get a hotel, right, the weather's always good, so you'll have a nice
Yeah,
time.
it was a comma, yeah, it was a, yeah, of course.
And all that, and the food was all right, and everything was going all right. I was just having a nice, relaxing time.
And how do you sort of spend your time on a holiday? You just lie around? Is that
That sort of holiday, just lying around. I bought a book.
You bought a book?
Yeah.
Okay, ghosts?
No, it was short stories, right? It
About
was like
ghosts?
no, it was about like special days in our time and time before me and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like it was telling you about how in I think it was 1814 the Thames frozen up.
Yeah.
And all these stories are told by eyewitnesses.
Yeah.
Right. So there's some fella who was around in 1814. And the Thames was frozen, and people used to put market stalls on there, and they'd do the shopping. It was like like an Oxford Street.
Was that Mad Liar Charlie? No, because he's famous for that.
Well, I'm sure you know.
No, I think that was Mad Liar Charlie.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was reading that, and then after a couple of days, was a bit like, oh,
Boring.
yeah, you can only do sort of so much lying around
And so much reading.
So Suzanne said, well, let's go on the beach, have a walk.
You ain't gone on the beach?
Where had you been
on the beach,
up to this point then? In your room?
No, just like round the pool, just relaxing and having a swim and that.
Yeah.
So she said, let's go on the beach. I said, all right then, yeah. So wandered down to the beach, and first impressions are, yeah, it's all right, it's clean. Sea
Your
looks good.
criteria is so basic, it's weird.
Right.
Hotel, yes. Roof, good. Food, adequate. Beach, clean. Next.
So I'm walking along, and everything's good, and there's a woman feeding fish bread, which I thought that's different.
I love that. He likes originality. He loves a bit of originality.
He was feeding fish bread?
This woman was there, like up to her knees in water.
Yeah.
And she was stood
Was
there.
that a sea?
Chucking, yeah.
Oh, right, good.
Chucking this bread, and I thought, what's she doing? And I stood there and watched for a minute, and there was little fish come out having the bread. I thought, oh. So I carried on walking, and everything's going well. And then this fella comes towards me.
Everything's going well.
Yeah, that's
I haven't
original.
fallen over.
Clean feeding bread. 2 points for originality. Yeah.
Fella comes walking towards me.
Oi, oi.
He's only got no pants on.
Oh.
So I said, Suzanne, what's going on?
Why did he turn to her? Like she knows more
So
than him.
she said, oh yeah, it's she said, yeah, it's a nudist.
Is this going to be a long story? Can you pull that coffee? Can you give me that coffee over? Sorry, this is really bad. Yeah, because he's probably... Thank you.
Just amuse yourselves while we sort the coffee.
Thank you very much.
Steve, do you want
I'll have a cup of coffee, Carl. Thanks. Yeah, cheers.
Cold. Right, good. Okay.
So,
Great. Thank you.
So she said, yeah, it's a nudist beach. So I said, well, why? What? I said, we're all mixed. It's all mixed up. Normally on a nudist beach, it's a nudist beach, and you don't go wandering on there when you got your clothes on and that. So it annoyed me a bit because there wasn't any signs. So this fella's getting closer.
Well, the knob out was a sign.
Yeah. Right. So he's getting closer, and he walked past me. It was an old fella. And he walked past and he had a hat on and a little pipe and a big rucksack on his back. Right, so he got me thinking.
Not strictly naked.
I'm walking along and I'm thinking, right, why do people want to do this? So straight away, I wasn't on holiday anymore, because most of the time when I'm on holiday, I don't think about anything. Right?
Your mind's a blank.
I just switch off. Right? But all of a sudden, this has got in my head now, and I turn around to look at him, and
Check out his arse.
and this bag, right, I swear,
That's his ball sack.
it was massive, right?
What?
You had a massive bag.
The bag,
His rucksack.
his rucksack.
Oh, right, okay. 'Cause when he said there was an old couple coming towards me, I said, what was lower, the bloke's bollocks or the woman's tits? And he said, well, that was another point. She might as well have worn knickers. Because he said, I was so naked. That's what he said to me.
So you saw the bag.
So it annoyed me, yeah, because the whole idea in it, this is what I think, I mean, I might be wrong, right? Might be wrong.
Chances
You
are
never
quite
have been.
strong.
You never have been before.
Being nudist, right? What's it all about?
I'll tell you, on that point, Carl, let's play a tune. Let's come back and we'll discuss.
What are we going to play?
We'll discuss that very issue. We've got some ideas. We did chat about this last week, Carl, in your absence.
All right. Well, we'll play the choral.
Okay.
It's a good one, this.
Yeah.
Coral, Dreaming of You on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
If you just joined us, Carl is walking down the beach, and a man has just passed him with his knob out.
Yeah, his testicles out and his huge bag, apparently.
Right.
Now we'll sum this up, quick, because we did talk about it last week. You did call me and tell me some of these things, and we sort of mentioned it last week. But you just want to say just give us your thoughts on nudity.
Well, what I don't understand is, right, nudity, I thought it was all about, sort of being free.
Yeah.
Natural, letting the breeze, blow around you and that. That's all I can think is of like the bonus of doing it. But you can get that by just having a pair of shorts on, right? Because I'm not one for getting my kit off. It's just something a bit weird about it, isn't it? Normally, if I go for a walk on the beach, I'll put a shirt on.
Sure.
But leave it unbuttoned.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, tease the ladies, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just feels a bit weird. So it's best to cover your back anyway, because the sun.
Yeah.
And all
Good
that.
advice, yeah.
But when I saw him, and I thought, well, right, is he doing it to sort of be free and be comfy and all that? And then I thought, but he's carrying a big bag, right? I've got a pair of shorts on, and I'm not looking at him thinking, I bet he's really comfy. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't going, I can't wait to get home and get my shorts off. They're really annoying me, these. So, and that's just it. I don't get what it's all about.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, okay. Well, my advice to you is don't go to nudist beaches again.
Well, I didn't go again.
Do you play volleyball?
Nope.
Well, there's nothing in it for you, to be honest, Carl.
Do you ever walk around the house nude?
Not really. Only if, like, it's quickly to sort of jump out of bed and go and get a glass of orange. But I've got to be careful, because living on a high street, this flat's right across the way looking in.
Yeah.
And the
The
thing is,
little
it's all right.
Chinese fella.
There's a little
Exactly.
And who's the other one? Is he the
There's
one?
the old woman reading a book.
Yeah, it could be dead for all we know. It hasn't moved.
There's some bouncers, and I
Some bouncers.
think so, yeah.
Is that a euphemism?
There always... There's always...
Her name's Carol.
But, yeah, the only time, if I nip out, sort of get out of bed at night, go and get an orange, and I've still got to be careful, because if they're awake and I open the fridge door... and the
you're
light
illuminated,
comes up,
yeah.
Yeah.
they'll sort of see the light,
And the shadow.
turn round,
And the weird, long, stretchy shadow. Why did you get up and got orange juice or orange swash?
Robinson's.
You can't advertise on
Why
it.
don't you take a glass of that to bed with? Why are you getting up?
Yeah.
Because whenever I do that, I normally don't wake up, and it's a waste, isn't it?
The man is a genius. And look, well, continuing our rocking out thing.
Yeah, we're in a rock mood.
Well, I think this sums up rock and roll, doesn't it?
It's not called rock and roll, is it? Textbook.
Coldplay, The Scientist. Do you think that's about you, Carl? What happened there? All that rubbish, pressing the wrong thing going out and that?
Don't want to go. I've sorted it now. Doesn't matter.
Right.
You've come back. You're not focused, Carl. That's what concerns me. Your mind's on other things.
I'm all right now, though.
You all
Ready
right?
to go. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is... Oh... I just...
I'll tell you
can't
what,
believe it.
right, I'll tell you how I'm focused down.
What?
Got some new ideas for you.
Go on.
Well,
then.
they've all been blinders in the past.
Go on.
Did you do any competitions when I was away?
I think we did, didn't we? Didn't we give away a DVD?
Did we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on. Anyway.
Well, I've thought of some,
This isn't like radio, is it, as we know it? This is just people talking. If the mic's on, it's luck.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening, I've no idea what they think of this show. It's not a show.
Not in the traditional sense.
No. Okay,
No.
then you're going to change with that card.
Because a
It's got-
show suggests a certain form of presentation.
Yeah.
A certain pride.
And when we do present
and dare I
it...
say it, some planning.
Yeah, and when we do, it's ruined by him pressing the wrong button.
Yeah.
yeah, but I've got some planning here.
Go on, then.
Quizzes. What I did was, when I was on holiday,
Yeah.
right, you said, come up with a new idea, right? So the best way of coming up with ideas is sort of
Thinking.
nicking a TV show name and then twisting it a bit.
Yeah.
So
Or just rip off Simon Mayo's idea completely.
That's
Well,
good
I
advice for anyone out there.
I didn't.
yeah.
If you're interested in ideas.
The car is presently running right in for TV.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson one, isn't it? Just
That's
rip
the one.
something else off.
Just do an idea and change the title slightly.
Yeah.
Well,
Go on.
this one I haven't really got. I don't know what to do on the game, but I'm thinking strike it, Ricky.
That's all you've got.
That's
what you've come up with. How long did that take?
What is that?
I just thought it sounded a bit like Lucky. Forget that one then.
Yeah, forget that one. Okay, yeah. Well,
Right.
no, good. No, we all have hits and misses. Even Spielberg's, not all his films, you know, can hit the. Go on.
Right.
No, okay, no, it's a good. Go on.
Do you
Yeah.
remember Big Brother?
Yeah. Do I remember? Well, no, go on.
Big Mother, right? You call in. If your mum's heavy, you win a CD.
What do you mean? How can you prove that?
Alright, forget that. Right, here. Here's one.
Right, ER. Good one.
No.
Yeah. No.
The Price is Right, remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
The Price is Ricky?
No. The rice is right. And what I do, I read from an Indian menu and a Chinese menu. You tell me whether you have pilau or egg fried.
He's a genius, isn't he? He really is. Modern.
that one.
Go on
get
then.
it.
Go into, let's go into this one. Let's not cross this off right away. Go on then. What do you read from what?
Well, I'll get a couple of menus from like an Indian and a Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
And I'll go like, chicken korma.
Well, could I just suggest that as it's an Indian, it will be pilau, and anything you read out that is.
Yeah, but you don't know which one I'm reading from.
What, the chicken korma's Indian, isn't it?
Yeah, so you go pilau. But then
Well, then you might as well say Indian or Chinese.
no, because then the name wouldn't work. The rice is right.
Okay, yeah, I forgot you're working for the title backwards, aren't you? Okay, yeah. Okay.
I'm so confused. I don't
Right.
know where I am or what day it is.
A programme that they've been in on Channel 4, right?
Can you cross that out? We're not doing the rice is right
I
either.
don't understand the Rice is Right.
No, go
I'll
on.
tell you that later. We'll have a game in the office, right? A game that they've been in on Channel 4, but has got really big viewing figures,
Well, obviously not.
right?
Or they wouldn't be binning it. Go on.
Do you know 15 to 1?
Yeah.
They're getting rid of that, right?
Are they?
I'm thinking 15 Taiwan. Get some items that are made in Taiwan, right? Get 15 items, and I say what they are, and then you go, oh, I bet it's the vase, or something.
That's one that's made in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Just explain that again very quickly.
No, don't go.
All right,
Cross it out.
forget that.
Cross it out. 15 Taiwan.
Right.
Go on.
This is the one that I've prepared for, because I think this
is
isn't
the
daft, this is good.
Let's
Go
play
on.
a tune and let's hear it after that. I'm
you
very
sure?
excited.
Are we going to play it after that, or are we going to say
No,
it
you
all-
can explain
No,
it
it's
after
out.
it. I'm very excited.
We're doing that again, isn't it?
Oh, fantastic.
Waiting on a Friend by the Rolling Stones. Yeah? Go on then, Carl. On XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Wilton. Go on.
Right, this one. Remember Blockbusters?
Uh-huh.
Right, this one is good, and we'll do this one. Rockbusters. And remember how Bob Holness used to give you a letter?
Yeah.
And it'd give you a question, and the answer to that question is that letter.
Yes.
Right, well, it works like that. So if I said to you, we'll test it out on you, Steve, right? Right, welcome to the show and that.
Hello.
Let's play, right? And I say, right, your first one is W.
Mm-hmm.
And the cryptic clue, because it's done like crosswords.
Okay. So not quite like Blockbusters.
Well, this young man prepared for his death. And it's a W, so the answer. And it's not always going to be like our sort of music, it can be any sort of music that's out there.
So the W is the name of...
The answer.
I understand that, but is the answer always the band name, or is it...
Yeah.
It's always the band name, is it, or the artist?
Yeah.
And so would the W be the surname, or would you have both the initials if it was someone's name? Would Elvis Presley be EP?
Don't get annoyed,
No.
Carl. These are
It's a
questions
valid
that I knew would be asked. I know this. You tested it on me, so you've got to tell them. That's
Well,
the
To know
point.
the rules.
If it was Elvis, I'd probably do E.
No. Give him the answer. Give him the
Right,
answer.
did you hear the clue?
No, give me the clue again then. So the letter is
It is a
W.
cryptic clue, and
It's
the clue's
W.
fine.
Listen,
but-
and the
go on.
clue is, this young man prepared for his death.
This young man prepared for his death.
Yeah.
This young man prepared for his death.
And it's a W, and it's his first name.
That's what he needs
Well,
to
see,
know.
that's the... Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't...
Well, shouldn't we have the initials? Wouldn't that make it easier? I mean,
Yeah, but
wouldn't-
they didn't do that on Blockbusters, it just had one
Yeah,
letter.
they
No,
did.
they did.
If it was if
Gold run off and had us for 3 or 4
Did they?
letters, yeah.
well, it was normally just one word. It wouldn't have been a name or something.
Alright then.
W.
W-Y. W-Y.
Will Young.
Excellent.
I
Right,
didn't
so
understand it. What was
this
the
young
will?
man...
Prepared for this young man. So he sort of mixed sort of cryptic.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, it's a good effort. That's better than usual.
No, it's
that is better than
It's
usual.
not bad, is it?
So do you want to play? Let's play Rockbusters.
Yeah, Rockbusters.
How many of these have you got? No, because let's just clarify a couple of rules here, Carl. Let's just make sure we thought everything through, because I'm pretty certain when they get these things on TV, they at least have a go at them in the office first before they put them straight on there. I'm sure that's how it works. I'm sure Bob Holness just didn't turn up the first day, and he goes, "Don't worry, we'll wing it. It'll be fine. Bring the students in. Let's have a go." I'm sure they did a bit of preparation. So let's just check. We've got every base covered.
Yeah.
Firstly, how many questions have they got?
I'll
to
tell
get
you
right?
what. Let's do this off air then. Should we play a great tune?
Well, yeah. Well, people need to call in, don't they? Because we're doing it, aren't we?
Yeah.
It'll be all right. And there's good stuff. I've got CDs, right? I've got some compilation stuff and a couple of videos and that. So that's what they're playing for. Call up now. 08700 800 1234. Get them on the air. Play the game. Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Bit of The Cure.
Just like heaven.
Right. Oh.
That's from that Cure Greatest Hits
I'm gonna have a
compilation.
heart attack. I
You
really
get an
am.
extra bonus CD on certain copies, and that's an acoustic version of Just Like Heaven. Fantastic.
He hasn't thought it through.
I know, we've just
Right,
spent
we've-
three and a half minutes trying to figure out the rules. of
Yeah,
this game.
right, we've got it now. I'm sorry for people to call in. The lines are going mental. Right, so hold on, everybody. What we're going to do is we're going to do an ad break.
We're just going to figure out how to play the game.
No, we're going to
Join
get
the
two
ads.
people on there and we're going to play it. So, XFM and that. What's going on?
The adverts aren't working today, and I'll have to get an engineer in as well. so
Right,
that's
don't
messy.
play the adverts. I don't want to play them anyway. Don't play them. It's not our fault if it doesn't work. It's...
Do you realise if we were like live, we'd be heckled off the stage?
Right, don't play the adverts.
We wouldn't survive in the real
I'll
world.
sort that out. Right.
Right, get the people on the air now. Just
No,
get the-
Nick, calm down.
Play a record then. Do something for Christ's sake. Brilliant, Pulp. Good news and bad news. Bad news is we have got enough callers to play Carl's game. The good news is we don't have to play any more adverts in this show. So if it doesn't work, sod it. Right, who have you got on the line, Carl?
Some.
Let's just remind ourselves, what's the game?
It's Rockbusters.
Okay, now calm down, Carl. I know you're a bit stressed. You've got a lot to do, but don't worry, you just had a holiday.
Throw this desk out. Let's throw it out and start again.
Rick, don't get stressed.
Go on then.
People wouldn't think it was us if this show wasn't, half-baked and ill-formed and generally shoddy. That's what they've grown to love.
Okay. All right.
Sam,
Hello.
is it sounding all right today?
It is. Just about.
Right. Cheers.
Sounded worse.
Right then. Well,
And so we've got Sam on the line. Who else have we got there?
let's see, we've got Tim as well, haven't we?
Hi there.
All right, Tim.
Tim and Sam.
Right,
You sound quite similar, lads. Could one of you affect an accent or something? Which one's Tim?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, which one's Sam?
Sam.
That's slightly deeper, slightly deeper.
And they're not against the clock anyway, are they? So it doesn't really matter.
I suppose not.
So
I think Steve just wanted a bit of variety. Okay.
you understand the rule, lads?
Could you explain them to us?
Right, play it. Okay. Hang on. Wait. Let me explain because life is too short. Now, Carl's going to read out say 3 clues. Yeah, and just shout your own name and answer it, or shout the answer. Shout your own name, then the answer if you know it. And it's the person who gets the most right.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
So,
Here we go then.
okay then.
Shouldn't it be the first to 3?
Well, yeah, but then he hasn't got. Yeah,
I've got enough. It's fine. Right then, here we go. Welcome to the show. Right. The first initials ST. Right. Is that right?
well, I don't know. Oh, we don't know, do we? How do we know?
Here we go. ST, and the cryptic clue is better than the average homeless person. Okay.
Sorry, I think... Is that a band?
Yeah.
Is it an old band?
Yeah.
I think that's one word.
All right then. S. It's an old 70s band. Better than the average homeless person. Tim?
Go on.
Tramp.
Yes.
Supertramp it is.
Yeah.
Well done, 1 point to you,
No idea
Tim.
why that's right, by the way.
You don't know, you don't understand why it's right?
He's a super tramp.
Oh, right.
Better than the average homeless person.
cryptic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, second one. Come on, Sam, you've got
That's actually quite good for Carl. Trust me, Tim. I mean, take that as a good clue. Because, yeah, okay.
We won't do this again.
Right, 1-0
Right,
to
here we
Tim.
go.
Right.
The letter is F. That's the next one we're moving on to. And the cryptic clue is, the little girl is hungry. What shall we do?
The S or F?
I've got it.
F. F.
Freddy. Sam. Peter.
Yes, 1-1. Feed her.
He's pulled out.
Feed her.
Feed her. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one each. So this is the decider, isn't it?
Wait a minute,
ITV
are on the phone.
Well, you said first to 3, so no, it's not, is it? That's what I said. Just do the 3 clues and who gets the most.
Okay, well, we can do that now. So, here we go.
I love this. This is rubbish. Go on.
So here's the last one. The initials are AK, right? And the cryptic clue is exploding pet. Shout out your name if you know it.
Last orders at the bar, please. Last orders at the bar.
Exploding pet. AK.
You're tuned to XFM 104.9 Carl Pilkington's Quiz or Rockbusters. The format is still available. The highest bidder, please give us a call, or you can email ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Is it a band or a singer?
I'll give you a bit more of a clue. It's a pop band. Okay, we wouldn't.
Tommy Kissable.
Yes. Oh, this is amazing radio. So who was that won?
That was Sam who won.
So it's 2-1 to Sam. So he wins. What does he win, Carl?
He wins some CDs and some videos.
No, he's got. And obviously now, Sam, if you're ready, take the spot. You're going to do the gold run. Away you go, Carl.
I haven't got any more.
You're a fool. Right, stay on the line. We'll give them both some presents. Play a record. I'm going to shoot off. No, come. Feeder, come back around. He's getting all stressed again.
You know, we've only done an hour.
I know. I'll tell you what. This
You know,
seems
there's
like
another
3.
hour to
I
go.
know. I don't know what it seems like to the listeners. I say
I'll tell you this, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, Carl, but I think maybe someone else should come in and press the buttons. Because I'm not sure you're across it. I don't think you can go on talking and working at the same time. I'm not sure you can...
Walking.
Yeah,
and
it's, for you it seems as a bit
no,
like...
don't say that. Look, he's gutted. No, there's a lot of gone wrong here. I say, throw this desk out and get a real one. Seriously.
Well, I think there's a Fisher Price when you combine Argos that might be.
Yeah,
worth
but
getting.
we got there. We were stunned because it was second hand. This one, but this is like the